Okay, here we are again. I have started my prescription of antibiotics, and pretty sure I heard an R2D2 death sound inside of my lungs yesterday, so hopefully that means that anything that was unscrupulous that was in there is dying or is dead. It does dry you out quite a bit, though. So I think, honestly, a lot of the coughing that we'll hear today and any scratchiness in my voice is probably going to be down to the lack of water content. I'll try to keep that as minimal as possible, but it depends, It depends on how much talking we're doing and all that stuff. I mean, it might be a chill day because we're mostly just going to be doing side quest stuff, but we shall see how it all goes. But we'll wait our usual time for the music to go through one cycle here, and then we'll get started. I think I'm on the mend, though. I still have to get the mucus out. The antibiotic does not actually take care of the mucus part for me. It takes care of the bad bacteria in the mucus, or the bad viruses in the mucus, but it doesn't take care of the mucus itself. So that's still on me to get out of my body, and there's still a little bit lingering in there. It's not as bad as it was, but it's still there. I can feel it. It should be gone soon enough, though. And again, it's a posture thing. I have to sit up. I have to kind of arch my back a little bit so that I can make sure that my voice projects towards the microphone. And I know it's a posture thing because, depending on my seating position or depending on my laying position, I've had different reactions to my airways being irritated from air coming in and out. Normally I sleep on my side before I sleep on my back, but normally I sleep on one side. I favor it because I get more oxygen in on that side. It's night and day. You can feel it. It's weird to say that, but you can feel it when you sleep that way, that one nostril must get more oxygen than the other for some reason. But I can't sleep on that side when I have a sickness like this because the sheer volume of extra air that I get into my body from it is enough to irritate my throat, and it causes me to cough significantly more violently than I do on the other side, so I don't get as much air in on the other side. It's not that bad. It's not to the point where I'm snoring or something, but I don't get as much in, so it doesn't irritate my throat as much, so I don't cough as violently and I don't wake myself up. And sleep is pretty good when it comes to stuff like this, so, that's helpful. Just wish it didn't take the entirety of Ilmag to mostly get rid of it, But, what can you do? Okay. Hey Marie, how's it going? Yes, happy early New Year's to you as well. Welcome back. Just about to get started. I got one Beast Tribe side quest to take care of before we unlock the next Beast Tribe, and then we're doing, more side quests today. So let's get working on that. Let me take a drink too, because that will kind of help. So I was looking back at the footage from the last episode, and I gotta be honest, I'm kind of disappointed with the Titania fight. As a healer, specifically, it felt like there just wasn't a whole lot of healing necessary. Now, it could have just been that the gear just outweighs everything. We did have pretty good damage in there. We had pretty good DPS, so I guess our gear might have just outweighed everything, but, I haven't fought the trials within Shadowbringers itself since before Endwalker came out, and they were significantly, there was more to do in those, and I'm wondering now if it has anything to do with the stat squish that happened when Endwalker came out, or if gear is really just, like, power creep is really just that strong at this point. I hope it isn't a harbinger of how simple the other trials are going to be, otherwise, I don't know. I'm mostly only going to find any challenge whatsoever in this X-Pack from dungeons where people are wall-to-wall pulling and I'm the healer. And those are limited in quantity from here on out. I've healed quite a bit so far, but we'll get there. Maybe we'll have another challenge waiting in the wings that will, you know, make up the gap. We'll see. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, the Stream Edition. My car was parked on an incline. Last time we finished up in Elmeg in terms of the main story. Fought Titania. And I did not get to shoot a satellite beam out of my arm, so I'm significantly disappointed. So instead of doing that, let's go burn off all this extra energy that I have with West Side, Nest Side Story. Let's go have a dance-off, shall we? This will not get rid of the ether, but at least it'll, you know, keep me moving so the ether isn't just causing my body to turn to glass. You bought shit to cook this week? You saved about 20 bucks on groceries. Nice. That's good. It's always good when you can save a little extra money on groceries. So, the content is easy now. End of story. I wish it wasn't. It's supposed to go up in difficulty as time goes on. That's why I drew the chart. See, I know I'm getting better because I can actually do that fake crying routine without, like, busting out into a coughing fit now. Oh, here we go. Time has come. We got to stand against them. Sundrop dance till our hearts, till we drop, basically. I was going to say till... I don't even know what the phrase I was quoting was, but anyway. Okay. That's a fair idea. Let me go do that, and then we will move right along. Now, do I have to go to the top of this totem pole, or do I have to do it... No, I just do it over here. Okay. Alright, Gundu Ancestors, I've unlocked the chakra, but you gotta give the chakra to all these people. We're gonna need it if we don't want to have them all become slaves to the Vundu. And the Vundu don't really appreciate you guys, your ancestors anymore, so... Yeah, maybe help us out a little bit, please. Probably not the best prayer, but, you know. That's what this dance is missing, the hooah from the Black Chocobo theme in Final Fantasy V. So, and also the Kaioken, but then again, you don't get that in the Monk quest, so why would they give you that here, you know? Oh good, they gave us damage up for our dances, fantastic. Again, I really hope there isn't an actual instance in this one, because I feel like it'd almost defeat the purpose, but we'll see. I was going to say, well, that's good, because it looks like the sun's rising here, too, but that's not quite true. It's almost evening, so... Yeah, it's all good, Linu. Just trying to provide a helping hand. Well, I'm not risking life and limb. I'm helping you with the dance. Oh, okay. I don't know how that's going to go, but I will give it a shot. Ah, yes. So, also, in addition to that, since last time, you may remember that we finished up the Kojin last time, and I was doing a few side quests over the course of the time that we were working with the Kojin, and it turns out that a little someone would like to come with me. So the, what was his name? I keep forgetting. It's like Sukotsubo or something. Had me doing those 3 side quests with Mizuko, his striped Ray, and he said, nah, you know what, she's kind of attached to you, and she really does need to get out and see the world a little bit more, so why don't you take her with you? I'm sure she'll figure something out. And I said, hell yeah, man, I'll take her with me. So Mizuko has joined our group, our motley crew of mounts, so she'll be with us for the remainder of the game. It's a cool mount, I like it. She's cool. Alright then. Well, I mean, that makes sense. It, you know, works out, because then I can, you know, if I need to step in, I can. If I don't, then so much the better. I will do that, although I don't really think that you guys are going to get killed off by those guys, but, you know. Alright, off we go. Wow, that's the end of the quest already? Really? Holy shit. Alright, let's, since Mizuko's already here, let's summon her out. And let her see this through with me. How far are we going here? Oh, not that far. I was going to talk about something, but I'll wait to talk about it until we actually get back to the Crystarium, so... Although I think we're going back to Ilmeg, honestly, because that's where the end of the quest line is for Manic Pixie Dream Realm to unlock those guys, and also where, also where we need to do Aetherkern quest today, so... Alright, let's see how this plays out. Since they're going to have me sitting on my hands up here, that means I won't be getting my Dance Kaioken today, but maybe Linu and the rest can do it. Oh boy, here we go. Show them your best dance chakra. Do you guys even get your tribute? Honestly? A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. This must be the preparation. Yeah, they had to do the preparatory steps, so everyone got in sync. No talking is necessary. Only Sundrop dance. You guys didn't do the preparatory steps. You better be careful. One of you falls out of sync. This is over. Come on, show them what you can do. Sorry, I gotta do this real quick. Sorry for the frames. I realized I'm gonna have to use not the Vundu, but the Zundu and the Gundu for a thumbnail, because if I don't do it now, things are not gonna work out. You fell out of sync. You gotta stop that, dude. Oh, they're faltering. That's not good. Don't look at them. Look at us. Oh boy, here we go. Hey, Colo, how you doing? Welcome back. We're watching a dance-off. It's not going so well for our side at the moment. Alright, Linu, pull these guys together. You guys gotta get it back again in the second half. You will dance with the fury of 1,000 suns or you will die. Alright, Linu. We gotta show them how it's done. This battle is for all of us now. I'm just as much a Gundu as you are at this point. If you want an affront, I will show you an affront, Chief. Take this sacrilegious bullshit. Love this quest, it's so campy. It is super campy, I like it. Then again, the Heavensward ones they've always been kind of super campy, honestly, and I think that's kind of why I enjoyed them so much. They kind of channeled that energy from, like, they're a logical step forward from the slight campiness of the ones from Realm Reborn. They didn't really lose their touch moving forward, you know? Sync up those steps. This is the second half. We can still come back. This is fucking ridiculous, and I love it. That's the thumbnail right there. There we go. Now I can put chat back on the screen. Sorry for the frames. Alright, where's my dance chakra? We're gonna need it. We gotta show them what we're made of. We gotta show them very specifically that they are outmatched. Here we go. We're shaking the earth. They're starting to step out of step. There it is! That's what I wanted! Oh, no. Oh, I'd be dying laughing right now if it wouldn't start a coughing fit. The white will show you no mercy, and neither will we. Oh, that's pretty great. See, this is what I mean, right? Like, they want you to take shit so seriously in Shadowbringers, but I want more of this, okay? I need more of this in my Final Fantasy XIV, because this is so bullshit stupid, but also hilarious at the same time. Like, it loops back around, okay? Like, it shows me that you know when things can be silly and when things can be serious if you just do this and you're not asking me to take everything seriously all the time. Yeah, it is. It's so fucking stupid it loops back around to awesome, exactly. So. Ether currents are super brainless now. Can actually get flight as you progress MSQ. If you don't, that's only on you. Yeah, it's either on you or the fact that they left that one in the locks that requires you to go up into that area that you literally never go to unless you're like a gatherer. I think there's a botany node up there or something, but other than that, there's no reason to go to the top left corner of the map there. But, I mean, that one I can understand because that's a pain in the ass to go get. It takes like an hour, but other ones, yeah, no, it's kind of brainless. So. We have achieved victory. Good job, team. That was pretty good. Wish I could have gotten that on camera. Sadly, I didn't bring a camera with me. Not that I'd know how to work it anyway. Rory's the technological genius here. Nah, it's all good. You guys needed a little help. All you needed was a little push. Keep yourselves in line, and that was all I gave you. Good. That's good. And that is also good, because a feast sounds very good right about now. Let's hope that they don't put anything in it that's inedible for humans, or my dance chakra is about to be dance death. Oh, you're playing Wild Arms 3 right now, Colo? Nice. I own that game. I tried getting into it, to be honest with you, but it feels very samey to a lot of other RPGs that came out around the same time, so I never really could get into it as well as I think I could have if I played it earlier. Maybe I'll change my mind one day because I might need like an extra project or something, and I'll be like, yeah, you know, I still own that. It's free to use, so because I already own it, so I might as well just do that, but, you know. Oh, nice. We got another totem pole. Perfect. And that will signal the unity these two tribes share now. And also, we quite literally danced so hard on these people that they left Chief Honu of the Vundu and ended up taking up residence here to learn our dance steps. That's fucking hilarious. We quite literally brainwashed them into learning the sun drop dance from us. Oh, man. Alright, but we're at rank 7 with Akagundu Naki. We are sworn now. These quests are going quick, I gotta tell you. Although, to be fair, by the time we get these ones to rank 8, the Pixies will pretty much be at rank 7. So. We are the top Gundu. Fantastic. And we can buy more stuff with the White Bones, but I don't think anything that's available from the White Bone Exchange is anything that I particularly care about. I think these unidentifiable things here are like things you can use for, I think, the Anima Weapon quest, if I recall correctly, but I've literally never done one of those, and I'm not going to start now, so yeah, you know. Is your new stuff in the purchase items section then? Oh, yeah, I guess you got a couple of things in here, don't you? We got a Wind-Up Gundu and a Wind-Up Zundu, and we can buy the Sanua now, but yeah, no, I already got a mount out of the Beast Tribe quests here, so that's enough. They're Sanuas. Can stay here and dance till the stars align, I guess. Okay, well, that takes care of that. Back to Ilmeg? I think we'll go back to the Crystarium first, and then back to Ilmeg. We'll be going back to the Crystarium again to do the role quests and the Crystalline Mean quest today, but we'll go back to Ilmeg first to take care of that, so. Do I want to play Summoner or do I want to play Ninja? I'm going to play Ninja in the next dungeon, I think, so I guess I'll play Summoner for now. That's fine. And then, yeah, might as well go finish Manic Pixie Dream Realm while we're at it. Then we'll do the Ether Currents in Ilmeg, and then after that we'll go from there. Ooh, excuse me. Like I said, the antibiotics dry you out a little bit. And there's still mucus in there, so the combination of factors there is not ideal, but we'll make it work. Oh, the thing I was going to talk about, yeah. So I didn't really talk about the shared fate system just yet. Honestly, I was boycotting it because what they did is they made mount speed pay to win. From Shadowbringers onward, you have to either pay for the Fenrir mount in order to go fast, or you have to pay with your time by doing fates. Although you only have to do 6 fates in order to get the riding map, so it's not that bad to get the mount speed here, but you can only ever get up to the 1, whereas in every other X-Pack before this, you can get up to 2 mount speed if you do... you got them for free, but you got the first star for free just by doing the main quest, and that gave you extra mount speed, and then you got the second one optionally, and you could get it, but you didn't need to get it. Now you have to get it by doing optional stuff or by paying for it, which is a significant step downward, if you ask me. What did I start this on, anyway? I don't remember. I think I started on Scholar, so I think I have to go in on Scholar to finish it. What was I saying? Yeah, so anyway, about that. The shared fate system is how you would get the currency that you need in order to pay for the riding maps. You have to get some bicolor gemstones. You need a total of 70, and you also need to get rank 2 in the fate system in each area that you go to. So in between episodes, I actually just went ahead and took care of that. I already bought the riding maps in Lakeland and Ilmeg, so now it doesn't look like my mounts are breaking their legs every time they come down from flying. Because I honestly, I was just kind of like, no, I'm going to boycott it, and I'll get used to them breaking their legs when they take off and land, but it just looked too off to me, so I said, no, I'll just get the friggin' riding maps, whatever. It's not like I'm buying anything else with these damn bicolor gemstones, and it doesn't take that long, so... Went ahead and got them. We can't get them in Amarang or in Calusia just yet, but we will once we eventually get back to there for the main story, because we'll unlock the gemstone shop when we go there, so... Also, before we go into the Realm of Dreams, let me blow my nose, because it would probably be a little unsightly to do that otherwise. And by blow my nose, what I actually meant was attempt to blow my nose and then cough and all the mucus comes up through my throat instead, and I have to go spit it out. Sorry for the gross imagery, but that's been my life for the past 10 days, so... Oh, I don't know how interesting that would be, but you know, I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be fine. I'm probably still under the effects of that dream powder serum, so... I'm sure I'll eventually be able to sleep again. Eventually. Anyway, in we go. Let's go see what Lime Egg's all about. A little foggy in here, guys. You sure this is the land of dreams? It looks like the land of just slumber at this point. No, maybe that's the problem. Maybe they, need to bring the dreams back to this place. Maybe that's why they need my help. Tierbeck, what's going on? Oh, the gates have been sealed off. Are these the gates to the other dream realms, or? Yeah, so each gate actually leads to... They actually have this place, like, very neatly set up, all things considered. The gates themselves lead to each individual separate region of Norvrant that's left over. So, like, one of these doors leads to Lakeland, one leads to Amarang, one leads to Raktika, one leads to Calusia. One leads somewhere else, but we will talk about that when we get there, so... Probably Ezel. So what do we do about it? I figured he got an invitation, so he might as well. Oh, okay, sure. You're encouraging him, though, Tierbeck, by saying something like that. Oh, okay. So by losing interest in that one person, Anlad has lost interest in all the dreams in Lakeland? Wow, what a sore loser. I mean, I've played Kingdom Hearts before. I know how this goes. Okay. So, what's causing Anlad... Like, this seems more sinister than the usual Pixie affairs. So, I mean, to be fair, the Fuath tried to drown me, but, you know. That's why they're not the Beast Tribe. And the regular Pixies of Little Laron get to be the Beast Tribe. Okay, fair enough. I'll leave the investigating to you, Inspector, in the meantime. Okay, sure, I can do that. You love this place. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a little bit more colorful once we fix this gate. Or all the gates. Well, only one way to find out. This looks like some high-tech magic. You sure this isn't an Allegan mirror that you guys just repurposed or something? Because I distinctly recall seeing something like this in the Crystal Tower raids. Like, it might even be a reskin of the Crystal Tower's door now that I look at it. Oh, nice. We brought back the sun. And the, soap bubbles? And the cheerier music, as you'll see in a moment when the music picks up. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do anyway, though. So it's a little bit of a symbiotic relationship, then. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so how do I help you keep it open, then? I didn't even nod there. What are you celebrating about? So by freeing the little girl from Sullen from her nightmares, you and yours have reclaimed the dreams of those in Lakeland. Tierbeck appears eager to restore Lime Egg to its former fun-filled glory, and for this, they require your aid. And that's the gist of these Beast Tribe quests. You do stuff for the Pixies. I am not entirely sure how just doing random stuff in Ilmeg actually relates to the dreams and nightmares of all the people that are around this place, but I guess by doing stuff in Ilmeg, you prevent it from falling to nightmares. And then at each rank, you go to a different area in the rest of the continent, and you free it from nightmares. Almost feels like a Kirby game, except with less eldritch abominations in its lore. Is it just me, or does anybody else get the distinct feeling, especially looking at this, that this place looks like the 100-acre wood? Like, the only thing missing is the log on the top of the hill. And obviously later, when they populate this place with a bunch of toys and obstacle courses for the kids to play in, it's going to be a little different. But just the hills themselves really give me big, 100-acre wood from Kingdom Hearts 2 vibes. Alright, well, time to see if I can go back to sleep still. Nah, I got things to do, Thunsul, so I'll come back eventually, but not just yet. Alright, sounds like a plan. Yeah, but we can take that one step at a time as we go, so. Okay. You know what? Sure. Sounds like a plan. As long as you don't play tricks on me, yeah, no promises there, but, you know. Well, yeah, I would hope so, with Feoul being the next Titania. If you play tricks on me, I'm pretty sure Feoul will turn you into a shrub, so. Or something worse, as we'll find out today. Alright, sounds like a plan. Dream material. Oh, that's why we do this stuff. Okay, yeah. So the quest that you do will have you gathering up materials as you go through Ilmeg, and those materials, they basically take them into Limeg, and they turn them into things that mortals can play with in their dreams. So it might be a regular old object in real life, but it turns into a dream object when it goes there, and the pixies use their magic on it. So there you go. Objects that would alleviate loneliness. I'll see what I can do about that. I'm not the best in terms of imagination, but I'm sure all of you can figure that part out for me, and I'll just help with the delivery. So. Alright, anyway. The pixies themselves, by the way, if you're looking to gain experience on, like, let's say a DPS or something, they're actually a really good way to go. Because the experience from these quests is significantly higher than the experience from the other Beast Tribe quests from previous X-Packs before this. Like, before this, you might get maybe a couple % worth of levels, but you get, like, from your daily quests with the pixies, just the daily 3 that you do, you get, like, 15% of a level from them. So that's kind of nuts, actually. It allows you to do that and your hunts, and you've basically got, like, a quarter of a level per day. You can, actually, I think it might be even more once you've unlocked all the hunting regions you can go to, so you can pretty easily raise a DPS just by doing these Beast Tribe quests and by doing your hunts for the Saxon Nuts, so. Okay, so we'll bring everybody else a dream eventually, but now let's get started on the Ether Current hunting, shall we? We got 4 quests to do, and there's a few quests in between the quests to go do as well, so we'll have to work on those. I probably should go to Urian J's house and do those ones first, actually, before I do these ones, but I might as well do this now while I'm standing right here. Physor Laran, huh? And where's that exactly? What are you so scared of? I've never seen the pixies this spooked. It depends on what it is, but, you know, Kengiuf. Okay, I'll see what I can do. And by that, I mean I actually am going to go to Urian J's house first, because it's out in the middle of nowhere. All the way over there. And honestly, we probably should have just done it while we were over there for MSQ, because now I got to walk all the way back, but that's okay. And actually, I don't have to walk all the way back, because I can actually ride all the way back now. Because I have mount speed here, so it won't be as painful. So, Mizuko, let's get going. We'll let you just kind of lightly float above the ground, and then after that, we'll get you flying. I might even take you for a dip in the water, actually. It'll probably feel refreshing, especially since the place isn't being overshadowed by a radioactive sun now. So, let's just steer clear of those garden anemones, though. That wouldn't be a good idea to deal with. So, I was gonna say, is it gonna knock me off my mount when I go do this? But yes, it is. That's okay. She can go get a prevailing view of the waters before I go in and then come back out. Let's see. Looks like I gotta go like this. I gotta go out into the deep water. This isn't close enough. There we go. Now we should be good. Now we can float around here for a little bit. We can't go up that way, though, as far as I'm aware, because that's a ridge for deep water, so. But we should be in the clear now. We should be able to get pretty close to Urian J's house before we walk out of the water, so. Alright, Mizuko, you just keep on swimming around. I'll catch up with you after I'm done with all this stuff. After I'm done sneaking away from these garden anemones, that's for sure. Now, can I swim on land again? No, I jumped at just the right time to not do that, so. Alright, so in we go. And once we're done with this, that's when we'll, I'll just teleport back to Little Laran and we'll go take care of the Forbidden Laran and the other one that's over there as well. Although I could take care of the one in Wolochtdorf before I do that too, but... the problem with the Ether Current quests here is that there's one in Little Laran that actually is a chain of quests. and it requires you to go back and forth. It's the one that I've already got, the one that takes you to Pfizer Loran. And the one that's in Wolkdorf is also a chain of quests, so you kind of get screwed no matter what. You can't really... You have to... Because of the way that I'm doing them, you'll be able to fly around in one of the chains of quests, but not the other one, so... Honestly, I might go do the Wolkdorf one first, though. Because I don't think that one has you moving around as much, but we'll see. Anyway, delightful decorations. I am Arianje's friend. What do you need? Okay. I don't know if he'll ever come back here, but, you know. Oh, you guys can't swim. Good to know. Alright. So go get some of these weeds. From down by the church of St. Daniphan, I think? I think that's the place. Unless I'm thinking of something in A Realm Reborn. Which is possible. But we'll go gather them up. And then we'll come back. And help more with the decorating. I forget if it's just gather these 3 weeds and you're done, but... I guess we'll find out. Oh, there's a weed. Just hop on my striped ray to move like 5 feet and then grab a weed. Yeah, the nighttime theme here, it is. It's pretty good, isn't it? So, I'm trying to think if I should turn off mount music for it so that it can be heard a little bit more since, you know. We won't, well, we will be coming back here, honestly, because of the Pixie Quest, but it might be worth turning off mount music for now just to let that play out. Because we've heard Borderless before, but this theme we haven't really heard, so I guess I've convinced myself. Turn it off for now. There we go. Pixie Ring is your favorite nighttime theme from Shadowbringers? I'm trying to think which one is my favorite, honestly. I don't know. I'm gonna have to, like, play a little bit more to figure that out. Also said you weren't really doing shared fate quests. Good job. Still haven't done Clusi, and it's been almost a year of you doing Shadowbringers content. Yeah, I was mentioning at the beginning of the stream, but I kind of caved a little bit on it because I was getting sick of my mounts breaking their legs every time they hit the ground or they take off. So I got the areas we've been to rank 2 just to buy the riding maps. I'm not getting them to rank 3 though. That's ridiculous. 60 fates is way too fucking much. You need to cut that number in like half, Square Enix, in order for it to even be remotely close to anything I'd want to do, but 60 per area? No, that's atrocious, so. No reason to go there besides story, and you have no fucking reason to do anything in that area. I mean, dwarf quests and the near raids, but I guess after you're done with those, yeah, there really isn't much of a reason to go there. Cause, especially since they have the vendor for the Crypt Lurker gear just sitting in the Crystarium now once you beat 5.0, so there's really no reason to even go there unless you're trying to get older gear or something. And even then, I think the gear vendor in the Crystarium has the older gear, so... Yeah, you know. I did find the Whirlweeds. Here you go. Excuse me. Oh, that's fancy. You don't even need hydroponics, huh? Snug blooms, huh? Alright. Excuse me. Alright. I will go decorate the stairs. Excuse me. No reason to go to Calusia until the story wants you to. Think that's horrid. Yeah, it's not really all that encouraging, is it? I kind of don't like the way that they gate things off in Shadowbringers too. Like, you can't go to other areas. Like, I feel like there's too much gating. I feel like they could have taken notes from Final Fantasy XII and just let people go to other areas and just get their asses handed to them by the monsters. Because in Final Fantasy XII, you could go to areas that you're definitely not supposed to go to early and just get your ass completely handed to you. So I feel like they could have taken more pages out of that and just let people go to, like, because you can't go to Ilmeg until the story gets you there. You can't go to Raktika until the story gets you there. Half of Amarang and Khaleesi are cut off until the story takes you there. So, Hey, Cole, how you doing? Are you ready to go on the call? I already started the Ether Current quests a little bit, but that's okay. You'll catch up in no time, I think. You have like 45 more fates or something like that in Khaleesi. Oh my god, yeah, that's gross. Base game Zodiac Spear runs, yeah. The 122333 challenge, never forget. Have had that issue since Heaven's Ward. Oh, jeez. Yeah, well, no, I get that, though. Fates just, they're not really content that I like doing anymore, and they don't really have much of an incentive unless it's like shared fates for riding maps, or I guess if you want to buy something else from those guys, because some of the stuff in there is exclusive, but... And then I guess they make you do fates for the weapon quests, but... Yeah, I don't know, those have never interested me, so... Cole is ready to go in the call. Let me get him in the call. And actually, let me blow my nose again real quick before I get him in the call, so he's not, like, listening to my disgusting nasally ass while he's trying to talk, so hold on. You can pretty much assume that if I say that I am going to blow my nose today, I'm also going to the bathroom to spit out any mucus that comes out. Apologies again for the image, but, it's just one of those things. Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Let me boot up Final Fantasy.
Ziv.
I figured out why Mom's beef stew over the years never really turned out all that well, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
She never cooked it for long enough.
Oh, really? How long are you supposed to cook it?
Like 10 hours on low.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You gotta start that bitch in the morning if you want to fucking
Yeah,
stew.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Because she cooks it for, like, 4 hours on high, so... I mean, the meat comes out tender, but not like that. I already paid for your fucking expansion. Let me play your game my way. No, do story, and that's why you have a fuck ton of 90s and level 90 gear, despite being only 1/4 of the way into Endwalker, yeah. Yeah, I get that. You'll have to have a chat with Feoul about that. I don't really have any control over that, so... Alright, let's go to Volactor first, because I think this chain of quests requires you to go in less directions than the one that we just picked up in Pfizer Loran. I think by the time we get back to Pfizer Loran, their pixie friend is going to be completely dead, but hey, it happens.
The Warrior of Darkness, everybody.
So let's go help the Amaro instead. I like them better. Yes, shame indeed.
The Warrior of Darkness. Man, I'm so sad that your friend died. You could have saved him! It was too much of a pain in the ass to walk that way.
It really was, though. Blame the game mechanics, not me. Mr. Sandman, you don't need to bring yourself a dream. You're supposed to bring everyone else a dream.
Mr. Set.
That's his name, Sandman. You had something for me? A request. Okay, I was gonna say. Okay. Yeah, actually, Seto filled me in on that one. Interesting. Oh, so that's how the enchantment works. Okay, interesting. Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess that could be a bit of a shock, all things considered. Maybe you guys should incorporate that into your crystal message next time.
They are giant birds. It would be a little difficult for them to type.
Well, no, what they said was that the Namu helped them with an enchantment on the crystals that are just the big crystal spires around Ilmeg, and what it does is it sends out a frequency to Amaro that are able to understand and speak, like comprehend their own speech, and it tells them to come here. So, anyway, let's see if we can find this Amaro. Oh, look, the B rank is still over here. Not that I'm going to need to worry about that for much longer. I'm actually almost done with my hunting altogether in this game. I only need like 7 more accessories and then I'm done. And y'all might be wondering, hey, why are you, AMCR, why are you so adamant about getting the augmented Deep Shadow gear from the Sacks of Nuts there? And that's because, unlike in previous X-Packs, where I would just buy it to give myself a little bit of an edge and then eventually scrap it for, like, the higher level stuff, this is actually going to be my endgame accessory lineup, is going to include all the Deep Shadow stuff. I'm not going to be quite at maximum eye level, because I don't need to be, because we're not going to be going any further than, like, one of the Shadowbringers patches, so I don't need to be at max eye level, so I might as well give myself a little bit less of an advantage than usual. Makes it more interesting. You almost done gearing your Gatherers and Purple Script gear, so yeah, I could see that being
oh
definitely
god,
being a
you're
thing.
actually doing that, Marie? Jesus Christ. Disgusting.
I would wait until patch 6.4, but when you can get the actual best gear, but, you know, actual best Purple Script gear, but, I mean, you got nothing else to do with your Purple Scripts, you do you.
I'm sitting over here struggling to get one piece of Purple Script gear. Hate that shit.
Well, it's not like you can really use your, like, you can't use your Purple Scripts to buy that materia that I was talking about before that sells for like 3,000 gil, so, you know, might as well use it for something else.
I need the fishing rod. That's it.
Oop.
I have the boots. If you're wondering,
Ow.
Cole, also known as Necrostone, also known as Exia Prime. You see, here's the thing. Purple scripts at raid level are used for a lot more. Like, getting specific materials you need for pots and endgame food, so... Yeah.
So you're like, well, I could gear myself, or I could buy the stuff that makes me buttloads of money.
Yeah. See, the thing is that the thing that they don't tell you about raid gear is that the only reason you actually need purple script gear at actual raid level is to make the rotation less of a pain in the ass so that you can get more of the stuff you need. However, it's not that much more. It's 1 or 2 more. Because gathering gear at the very, very end game is weird. Because it's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna do this and this and this. Because, like, I have my gathering set over on my main on Lamia. Because, by the way, I jumped ship to Lamia.
Oh, okay.
Oh. It's just...
Found the Amaro.
Purple script gear is a fucking nightmare to get. Because you need to get all this other shit. Especially if you're getting it, like, the quote-unquote easy way. Because there's the long way, and then there's the quote-unquote easy way. The long way is that you just do everything, and you save up your purple scripts for everything, and you gear one at a time. The short way is that you go after the fish.
The fish.
There is a very specific fish in Endwalker that is in the last area that I will not spoil, that turns in for, like, a metric truckload of purple scripts. The problem is that trying to get it, it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack that is on top of another haystack, that is on top of another haystack, and then rinse repeat until the haystacks are the height of the Burj Khalifa and the needle moves around. It
Well,
is not fun.
Yeah.
I have fished up one of them.
Yeah.
Cole said the fish and the stream broke for a second.
No.
Listen,
Yeah,
that fish.
I didn't
hate
drop
it.
any frames, so.
Stop dying.
Trying.
I'm trying.
Zach from Crisis Core. I'm trying! Send in the airstrike!
Gungaga. Crisis Core remake came out recently.
Yes. I heard
Spoiler
about it.
alert. Nothing has changed. And
Well,
by that I mean
Tanisha
you
doesn't
can
really
still-
want to go to Wallachdorf, so let's go tell Sandman about it. And let Cole continue talking about Crisis Core.
Listen, Crisis Core, a game, fire. Unfortunately, they changed most of the cast. Even Sephiroth isn't voiced by his normal self.
He's voiced by his RE version, if I recall correctly. Like, they changed all of the voice actors to the RE versions, like the remake versions. So. Zach is a dork, you fucking love it. Yeah, no, so Crisis Core is probably one of the only quote-unquote sequels in the Final Fantasy series, along with Revenant Wings, that I would consider playing. But I feel like if I did that, I'd also have to play, like, all the ones I don't want to play, like the After Years and 13-2. Actually, 13-2 I would be somewhat willing to play just because it's so bad that it loops back around for me, in some cases. Lightning
Still haven't
Returns, I
played
don't really
13-3,
know,
by the
so...
way.
What?
Still haven't played 13-3, by the way.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about 13-3 Lightning Returns, honestly, so...
The game is ridiculous. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
about
ridiculous.
Right. That's about right. Okay, well, that's the end of the... Oh, okay, never mind. Ate your porks? Why would anyone want to eat a porksy? Aren't they made of clay? Huh.
Somebody probably thought it was one of those clay roasted fucking... Fun fact, you can use clay in cooking.
Yes, but that doesn't make the food taste like clay. So I think your stray Amaro doesn't know not to eat the porksies. He might have thought it tasted like, well, pork.
Look.
Oh, by the way, speaking of food and cooking and stuff, I did a trial synthesis with some warrior stew on for the 4-star culinary and stuff like that. Not for nothing, friendo, who doesn't really know how crafting works and is rusty AF in his crafting rotation, you're gonna die.
Oh, fun.
So, if you want my recommendation, I would say it might be a good idea to expand your palette, and by that I mean maybe do the 3-star ones instead of the 4-star ones. They still give good
Terrifying, have a nice
bonuses. They still give good bonuses, but just slightly less than the ones that I'm going to be making. The ones I'm going to be making, like, manipulation is required. There is a teeny little bit of luck that will make it easier. Luck isn't required, but it definitely makes it a little easier, so. That being said, there are some pretty good ones. Did you already...
It can't be any worse than some of the bullshit you have to do for the culinarian quests. Fuck that shit.
I don't know. I thought that the culinarian quests were pretty tame compared to this.
Oh, I'm talking about before they made them more tame.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You remember that?
I liked those quests, though. If I'm really upset that I didn't show the culinarian quest lines on screen. This level 60 quest is Hildebrand levels of funny to me. So, but, you know.
Fucking... See, I don't really mind what they're doing with the 7 remake of making it multiple parts, because that just means that they can focus in more on specific parts of the game and then break it up into different places. Like, I think it's gonna make the 7 remake, like, amazing. Plus, not to mention, I cannot fathom remaking the entirety of Final Fantasy VII all at once. It would take them, like, 2 decades.
Plus, let's remember, if they drag it out a little bit, it allows the developers who originally worked on 7 and are working on the remake at executive levels to pad their retirement out for years, basically. So they don't have to be like, well, I mean, I'm going to get a little stipend, but why would I worry about that when I can make hundreds of thousands of dollars on nostalgic value? And that has nothing to do... I'm not saying the game is bad, nothing like that. I'm just saying that's quite literally from an executive's level. That's what they're thinking about. They're thinking about, well, I could retire at 65, or I could wait, 10 more years, retire at 75 at the head of the company, and be a much renowned executive producer of the Final Fantasy VII remake, the thing that nobody said would ever get made.
I'm
Even
not
though
gonna
everybody
lie to you,
wanted
Jimmy.
it.
The thing on my bucket list has gone from several other games to watch you play on this stream to watching you play the entirety of the 7 remake.
Mm. That's funny. I figured
Listen.
Kingdom Hearts 3 would be up there further than that.
I've given up.
Yeah, I can't blame you. I'd have to play 6 mid-quels to play Kingdom Hearts 3, so...
I mean, with Final Fantasy VII RE, you might actually have some fucking fun with it. Instead of just being
There's an
confused of
actual
what the fuck is
chance
going
of me
on.
playing that one because it doesn't require extra context that I don't have, you know? So...
I mean, I don't even know how far along they are in the 7 remake. Like, they remade Crisis Core. The first part's out. I don't know what else happened, though. Because I don't know if part 2's out yet. I don't know.
Probably what they're doing is they're doing the remaster of, or the enhanced remaster of Crisis Core now because they're on the part of Final Fantasy VII Remake's development where they're going to have to explain Zack's backstory anyway. Like, and that happens, I think, near the end of Disc 2 in 7, if I recall correctly. So. It's like once you get the Icicle in. So they're probably getting close to that. I don't recall, though, so...
See, the weird thing about the 7 remake is that they're doing a lot of really weird shit with the story. Like, I've seen a full playthrough of part 1. It's ridiculous.
Oh. I'm just glad
Like,
they kept
it is
weird. The Honeybee Inn fairly faithful. Like, I'm glad they had fun with it because, like, I was like, oh no, it's gonna be stale as hell because, you know, modern games don't do that sort of shit, and they didn't have like naked gay bodybuilders or anything, but they definitely had fun with it. So,
oh, they absolutely had fun with it.
Yeah.
Also, I love the new way they're doing Aerith.
I've heard good things. I haven't seen how she's played out, but I've heard good things. You couldn't stomach 7 after you're about to finish Disc 2. You're avoiding the remake. Yeah, I don't know. 7 for me has always been pretty high up there. It's always been like a solid B tier game for me. So. Like, a large portion of what they do in that game, I find that they do really well, personally. But, well, we'll have time to talk about it. I'll be playing the original 7 first before I play the remake, if I ever play the remake, so...
I long to see your reaction to the end of part 1. You are going to fucking explode.
So, what kind of reparations can you receive for an Amaro eating your porksy? Exactly. Like, what are you expecting? Yeah. Okay. I'll see what I can do. Well, that's understandable. Someone ate your porksy, so... I can imagine you wouldn't be exactly a very patient person. Considering.
I'm getting a maxed out Bahamut.
I don't even know what that means.
Have fun getting a golden chocobo.
Oh no, golden chocobos are super easy in the original 7. You can do it in like 6 hours. With some RNG manipulation, but you can do it in like 6 hours. People used to think that it took like 20 hours of solid grinding to get it, but that was when we didn't understand how the game's code works. Now that we understand how the game's code works and how you can RNG manipulate for chocobo seeds, it's so much simpler to get a golden chocobo. You can get it in like, as soon as you get the high wind now. It's ridiculous. But actually, in terms of Bahamut, I do use Bahamut as a materia in the original Final Fantasy VII for AoE damage on Cloud. I don't really use any of the other ones, just because for the amount of time that the summons take, it's like a DPS loss, basically. And I can't believe that I'm, like, saying that like I have hyper ADHD and I don't want to watch through a 1 minute 30-second long cutscene, but quite literally I can get 3 Bahamut summons into 1 Neo Bahamut summon and deal more damage with those 3 summons than I would have done with the 1, so yeah. Plus, then I don't have to worry about getting Neo Bahamut, so, you know.
Which is fucked, because all the Bahamut forms in 7 are one of the highlights for me, because they've never really gone into the crazy bullshit evolution that those have.
Because they eventually turn him into like a mech or some shit, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, Crisis Core's version of Bahamut, top tier, actually. But then again, I'm just saying that because Crisis Core is probably one of my favorite prequels ever.
Yeah, fair enough. You do really
also, they
enjoy
didn't
that
change
one,
the soundtrack at all. They literally just made it better.
Like, just remastered the instruments, basically.
Yup.
Make the audio more lossless, that's it. We're done.
Uh-huh. Every track.
Nice.
The Summoned? hits different.
Yes, I am talking about a flying pig, and also you're not supposed to eat that guy because he doesn't taste like pork. He's made of clay. He tastes like clay. Yes, you did in fact do something wrong. You're not supposed to eat random things out here. Yeah. Oh boy. I mean, they can make a new one, but you know. Also, hello.
Hello. I'm finishing up the Ether Current quests.
Oh, okay, nice. Which ones did you do so far?
All of them.
Oh, okay, cool.
I am more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Can you fly?
Yes.
Oh, okay, nice. Take me back to Volokdorf, please? I can't because I'm not in your party. Hold on.
Get in here.
Pillion! Okay, now we turn the mount music back on. Because when am I ever going to get to hear Cruise Chaser again? Every time Rory flies me around somewhere, that's where. See, now I don't have to worry about not being able to fly around because Cole already did all of those, and he's like, nah, I don't need to do the quest chains. I'll just get the Ether Currents. It's fine. I'm obligated to show the entire chain, but he doesn't have to worry about that limitation. Are you going to dive bomb Volokdorf, or?
Oh, I was just going up higher to get you a better view of the place.
Oh, okay.
This place is my favorite area in Shadowbringers, so...
Yeah, fair enough.
And if you look to your left, you will see... the Great Lake.
Oh, jeez.
Also, yes, they did keep the activating combat mode in the game.
Yeah, it's still in there. It wouldn't feel right if it wasn't in there, honestly. Is it a misunderstanding, or did he actually genuinely eat... Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it's not a misunderstanding. He genuinely ate a Porksy. Okay, so what do we have to do to, bring him out of your debt? What? What do you mean? We're gonna have to make a new Porksy? Why did we all go there? That's not what he meant. Well, you're not gonna die. That's not what he means, but... Let's get you in with the Volokdorf flock, because this will prevent you from having problems like this in the future, so...
Poor thing was just hungry.
I mean, that's the way of the Amaro around here, so... Okay, I guess he genuinely did mean... No, actually, because what we're gathering for him are the things that he needs in order to make another Porksy. So when he said a life for a life, he quite literally didn't mean, no, I gotta kill you now. He meant, no, let's make another Porksy. I will help you out, Tanisha. I have, in fact, already come this far, so you can count on me. Nah, it's all good, Tanisha. It's all part of getting you where you belong. That's all. A place with people that understand you. Well, we could always ask around. Okay, so it sounds like you're going to do that one. Yeah, and you guys don't like water, so I'll go draw the water. Okay. Thank you, Sandman. Alright then, and then I guess we'll go get the last thing after that. Are you doing this quest chain, or are you just waiting for me?
I'm just vibing.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say, if you get too bored, you could always go start the Crystalline Mean quest, or you could wait until I start the Culinarian and Miner/Botanist ones, and that'll give you a reason to lens flare and actually start cooking, so...
Okay, so I have identified the current status of the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay.
Through a single Google search.
Okay.
Currently, it is part 1, and then talking about Yuffie, and what the hell she was doing during part 1.
Okay.
They have not released part 2 yet, except for a trailer.
Well, that makes sense.
Also known as Cries. It's gonna be another decade before I fucking get to play this game.
Mm. Yeah,
Suckers.
I'm not going to play the remake until it's completely done, so...
That's just the way of monochromium.
It's probably going to be a little while before you see it around the channel, if you see it at all, so... But don't worry about it. Maybe we'll play it eventually. Maybe I'll get over being sick eventually. Can't believe I stayed outside that guy's vision. I think what actually needs to happen, though, in terms of sickness, like, the reason why I'm so gross when I'm on the stream is just because, again, I'm doing 2.5 to 3 hours of talking when I've basically not had to talk at all for the rest of the other days that I've been off, so it's stressing on my vocal cords more than usual, so that's why it's tougher, but, you know. It's all good. We'll make it work. And it's a lot better, like, once I... No, it's fine. I'm not going to die in it. But it's a lot better once I, like, clear up some of the stuff. Like, I just cleared some of the mucus out of my throat just there, and now my throat feels really good, so... There's nothing stuck.
It'd be nice if your throat could just stay feeling good. But...
Yeah, that would be really nice. Again, normally I fly right through sicknesses like this in about 5 days, but this one decided to cling on for dear fucking life. Okay, so I'll have to go get a Fey lamp. Sounds like we're going to Little Iran, then. Also, I can get food out of this. Spaghetti al nero, broad bean salad, grilled platinum bream, baguettes, or some silver. I'm not going to eat the silver. Maybe Tenacio's interested, since he seems to like eating clay. Oh, good. This takes us back to Little Iran anyway, so not too bad. I'm just going to teleport there. It's all the way across the map. And then I can go
pick up... You called a taxi and then you just fucking left.
Well, I didn't call a taxi. Actually, you came here of your own volition. So.
Cruise Chaser's theme.
It's okay, just fly around on Cruise Chaser, and by the time you get here, I'll have started the next Ether Current quest. Oh, and also, so while we're here, since I've only found one other NPC that's even remotely interested in Norvrant, let's play a little triple triad, shall we? Because apparently Ewan came across some cards somewhere. Uh-huh. Urian J gave these to you. Okay, well that's fair, actually, because he would have a few. Well, we got 3 open and swap. Okay, so the rules for the other person that plays it, I think, is Glennard, if I recall correctly, the bartender back in the Crystarium, and I think he had the same rules, if I recall correctly. So the rules here have been pretty simple, all things considered. Like, the Stormblood ones were pretty fucking hard, but these ones have been, they're okay. Apparently, Gyufuan has both a Feoul and a Titania card. I also got a Rainbow Lorikeet. Or actually, it's not even a Rainbow Lorikeet card. It's a Colibri. What the fuck, man? That's not very nice. I'm going to put Behemoth down here. Okay, that's fine, because I can just take that right back. Thank you. Oh, that was my Diablos Hollow. That's why. Okay, because, you know, I was like, wait a minute, which one is this? But that answers that question. I don't see any cards that can take Hirschfont if I take Titania back. So, okay, that's fine. Excuse me. Magitech Sky Armor. Yep, that'll work. Goodbye. Well, we can, technically speaking, do that because you have, like, probably a couple of cards that I can win, but, it's okay. Here's another Ether Current quest. Ulthon has a dream. Of the people, for the people, and by the people.
Oh, God.
That's me, yes. Why am I surprised? They all know my name at this point. Feoul would have told them.
Feoul is the literal ruler of the Fae. How do you not know my name?
Uh-huh. I mean, I don't really know what it is to become popular, but I suppose if you become fairly clever as a pixie, they would be in awe of your tricks, so. And you guys do like your tricks. I mean, possibly. Right, that's true. I suppose I should have done this one, since I didn't actually know it would take me back to the Bookman's shelves, but oh well, should have done this one first.
I did, but that's because I have outside knowledge and have finished this expansion before.
Yeah, and I didn't look it up. I probably should have looked it up beforehand, so. Well, we gotta go back that way, so. Let's go take care of Tenacia first, though. So we can get that Fey Lamp, and then after that we'll ride Pillion and try to get back over to Urian J's place, since Cole's still here.
Do be chillin'.
And willing to taxi me around. Wink, wink.
Where are you?
Okay, so what do you need for the Fey Lamp, then? I don't know if that's a good idea, Tenacia. Then again, you're, like, not bound by the laws of human nature, so maybe playing with a pixie wouldn't, like, get you turned into a shrub, so...
Turn me into a shrub. Got better.
Okay, I guess we'll go to the bookman shelves after. Let's go outside the village and see what kind of play needs to go on here, and then maybe after that we'll go looking for the Forbidden Loran.
The Forbidden.
I remember that quest line. It's one of the only Final Fantasy II references in this game since A Realm Reborn. It's not even a good one now that I think about it. Okay, so how do you make a game of this? Guess the real Wood lore. Okay. Is there any distinction between you three? No, you're all the same model, it looks like. Okay. What's the hint? Wasn't there like a game show like this where it was like A, B, C and you had to guess which one was the correct person but they were behind a door or something? Okay, so the third one of you is Woodlore. The second one says no. Search your feelings, you know it to be true. Of course, they had to make that reference. Thanks, Koji Fox. So that makes the second one the real Woodlore then, because the first one said the third one is lie. The second one said you couldn't be more wrong. Lie. The third one says I'm the real one. Lie. So the second one is the real one. I got this, Tenacia. It's fine. I think you're just trying to throw me off. It's the second one.
No.
It wasn't. You didn't have a big enough of a sample size to make it difficult, though. Well, I did 2 sets of Hildebrand quests, so I don't have to rack my brains at these sorts of tests anymore.
Understanding how Hildebrand functions is already a test in and of itself.
Yep, I'm already too big brain for you. Okay, so you can go back to Volokdorf. I'll meet you there in 2 seconds once I go back to the bookman's shelves. Speaking of which, taxi!
Actually!
Oh, got a nice gemstone out of it. What do you say after this? We do have business in Volokdorf. I'm waiting for my taxi! Here it comes. Just get here, they're like, what in the bloomin' goddamn fuck?
Alright. Where are we going?
Urian J's house.
Alright.
If you please. And then I'll just teleport to Volokdorf, and after that I'll, just have to go to Pfizer Loran, and then I can fly around. Once we're done with the quests here, I think I'm going to take a bathroom break to go fill up on water. We'll go do the role quests, and then we'll unlock the Crystalline Mean quests. If we get all of that done, and it's still not like 7:15, then I guess we'll start on the next MSQ stuff, but it might be like 1 quest at the most, so.
Your destination.
Thank you. There's another person in here. Alright, let's see. A bunch of tomes. Am I taking all of them? Yes, I can. Yeah, okay. A manor log. I thought I needed one of these to make my couch back in my apartment. First week, Thunder's Day. The princess being partial to the lakefront view, it was decided that all the noble lords and ladies would set out for a picnic. I don't know if I can read all these. I think my voice will give out. I'm going to try, though. No, I'm not going to try. Never mind. I'm just going to read them and then react to them. So is that why it's called Hand Mirror Lake? Because, yeah. Where are you? Oh, you're over there. Okay, I thought you were, like, invisible or something.
I am always invisible.
Not you, the pixie. So I guess Princess Janana was one of the Voberton bird people.
Birds.
I don't think she could give you her eyes that easily. I mean, she could give you some jade. She kind of needs her eyes, though.
They are weird, though.
What?
The Fae are weird, though. They would ask for eyes as payment.
Well, when you call them Eyes of Jade, it's like, yeah, okay, cool. They're basically gemstones. And it's like, no, that's not what they mean. It's a metaphor. Oh, wait, you're all like 5 years old when you died, so you don't know what a metaphor is. Kind of sounds like the celebration they've got going on in Ishgard now that they're done over there. Oh, yeah, they finished the reconstruction. I don't know if you were there for that part.
What?
Yeah, they finished the reconstruction of the corridor that they were doing in the Broom, basically, where they were going to house all the poor people who don't have shelter. So. They also built an entire separate district that looks exactly the same where they house adventurers, so that's fun. So the alliance is between Dran and Galgant. Would that be... Dran, I think, are Rogadin, and Galgant are... Are they Al Ra? I don't remember. Well, we don't really know what Vobert means, so maybe it has a similar name. I hope so, for your sake. They're probably just going to find you to be a bookworm, honestly. Alright, let's go let them talk about that while we go take care of Tenacious's last little thing. We'll go back to Little Iran, we'll see if the path to popularity has found Ulfan, and then we'll go see what's been bugging about at Pfizer Laran for so long. So, have we gotten you what you need? Yes, I do in fact have the Fey Lamp. Fancy jewel. To add to my now collection of 3 jewels in my inventory. Yeah, that's what he meant by a life for a life. Well, thanks for your business, and thanks for not murdering my friend for him murdering your friend. I tried to warn you. Go find something that actually tastes like pork around here. Or chicken, maybe eat a lorikeet or something. Just pluck the feathers first. No, good. Looks like he's gonna fit in just nicely around here. So they thought it would be a good idea to bear that sorrow together, instead. See, and it's another good reason why I want to do the entire quest chain line, because again, you could just leave it at that and just get the ether currents and be done with it, but there were some writers on the team that worked pretty hard on these side quests, so we might as well appreciate them, because I'm sure as hell not going to appreciate the MSQ's writer. So I might as well appreciate somebody around here.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, it's just a fact.
Merciless.
Okay, so I'll appreciate
Devastated.
I'll appreciate certain things about the MSQ, but only those certain things. So, yeah, well, that takes care of that. The rest is back in Little Iran, so let's go back to Little Iran. And this one is just over here. Wonder if I'm gonna have to go all the way back to the bookman's shelves again. And be like, no, that wasn't enough to, you know, get what we needed, so we're gonna have to go back so I can find out something else, but okay. Let's find out. No? Huh. I mean, you were technically long dead at one point, but then you ended up a pixie, so...
Flying friend.
Hmm. Well, that didn't go over so well, now did it? I'm sure you will, without my help, because I don't think... Is this another one that's like a full quest line? I don't think so.
Oh boy. More.
Let me see. My notes say no. So, I guess no. It's not a full quest line. I'm confused. So what is this quest, then? Painting for praise. You know, whatever. I'll do it on my own time. Let's go see what's so bothersome at Pfizer Laron.
Pfizer.
Yeah, that place. So yeah, it's possible that I just didn't take good enough notes and I'm missing a quest or something here that's like, oh yeah, well, you could see Ulthon become popular, and it's like, I don't really... Like I said, it could just be that I didn't take good enough notes, but it's okay. What's the harm? One of Anjay's friends, yes. Your friend wants you to come back before you go to Pfizer Laron. Boy, do I understand that feeling. It's like the first rule of JRPGs. Although you're not a main character, so...
Fall, in height.
Yeah, that's one of the other rules. Of course, Kengyuf isn't a main character, so those rules technically don't apply to them. But that could be problematic here. I guess we'll go find out. Excuse me. Oh, I haven't been on this side of the map just yet. There is a little bit more of the map I have yet to find. The entire southeast corner for one, and for another, the section over by Urian J's house. But we'll do that once we're done with this. And we have the ability to fly around. Okay, so... Ken, Gif, are you still here? I don't even know if this will work. Okay, it will. Sometimes when you put punctuation next to it, it doesn't work, and sometimes it does, so I wasn't sure. No sign of them. I do hear something squealing. Hello? Huh. And where did you come from, little beaver? Broken, ruined immersion. He doesn't say snook snook chit. Immersion is destroyed. This is not a good Final Fantasy II reference. Milk, huh? The milk of human kindness? Probably not. That's a different project. Where the hell am I going to get milk out here? Well, I'll go back to Little Iran. I'll see if I can find you some milk, little guy. Just stay here for now. I'm not even going to talk to him. I'm not even going to talk to him, because if I do, I'll be disappointed that he doesn't say snook snook chit again.
What's the beaver doing?
Oh, he's just hanging. He's just vibing. Are you behind the house, or yeah, must be on the other side of this section here. Yep, Lad Ken. No sign of your friend, but I did find a beaver. Yes. What do you mean? Yeah, let's keep calm. You never know. Your friend could be all right in there. The beaver could just be, you know. There's nothing. What's wrong with beavers? You know, it's fine. When beavers cry. Oh boy. It looked like a beaver. Surely you've seen a beaver before. What do you mean, the giant beaver of legend? Oh. Okay. So for some godforsaken reason, out of all the things the pixies could fear, they fear beavers. Alright. It wants milk, actually. Uh-huh. It's a beaver. What's it gonna do?
Bite you?
Yeah, but I've been bitten by worse. There are garden crocatas walking around in Ilmeg that have bitten me for worse than that beaver. You and Hagen and ask for milk. Okay, got it. It doesn't hunger for pixies. You just... Oh, this is gonna suck. Anyway, so now that we can fly, I can show you what I mean when I said before that I didn't like how they kept breaking their legs when they come down on the ground. Now with mount speed on, because of the riding map, they land at a much more, like, appropriate pace to where am I going? It's the other way. To where it doesn't look like they're just their femurs are snapping in two every time they hit the ground, so.
No more crunch-tastic mounts.
It's nice. I would prefer not to have Quinfucius and Parvati and the car break their legs every time they come down. Sheep's milk. Okay, that makes sense. Heard you're a farmer, and you make sheep's milk? Well, I get the distinct feeling that Ken Gyuf turned into the beaver, because Ken Gyuf apparently likes sheep's milk, so... Wonder if I should hit up all these spots while I'm flying around. Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, we'll have Mizuko go through her paces in a few seconds. First, let's take the beaver milk before it spoils. Yeah, you need to say please first, and ironically enough, I distinctly recall please in the beaver language being snook snook chit. Asshole. A beautiful marble in the stump of a tree by the lake. A token of your thanks. Okay, I will let you and Hagen know. After I fill out my map. Mostly. I'm going to fill out the one that's over by Urian J's house after, because I think this one is only like a couple of sections. Like, basically you fly into this section over here, and like a whole big chunk ends up showing up because it's just water. So, yeah, see. This section's a little different, though, because this section is up on a cliff, so... I think it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay. And you go up on this cliff for some of the pixie quests as well, so we'll work on that as we go. Oh wow, there's even another little section here. We also got a new follower. Let's see who it was. Hunter of Goblins. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. We're doing Ether Current quests in Ilmeg at the moment. I have managed to get all of the Ether Currents. Now I can fly around, so I'm just finishing the quest lines that came with them. And after that, we're going to go do role quests, excuse me, before we move along with the plot. So, but let's go tell you and Hagen about the... well, you know what? I'm already kind of close. Let's go take care of the last little section over here. What is that section? Part of Hand Mirror Lake. Okay. Oh, this is Long Mirror Lake. Okay, I was thinking that this was Hand Mirror Lake, and then this was not, but no. It's their own personal lake over there. Are you still hanging around at Urion J's house?
Yup.
Oh, okay. For what?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Just vibing.
Okay. Fair enough.
Eating my food.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Speaking of food, we gotta figure out what foods you're gonna make for the next dungeon, because at the moment there's a bit of a discrepancy between your level of culinarian and mine. I'm at level 80, so I can make the 4-star recipe at the moment, but you don't have the stats for it. So we'll have to figure out what you're gonna make next time.
Pain. Unrelenting pain.
Yeah. Alright, we mapped the realm. So, back to you and Hagen. See if we can tell him about the
Hagen.
jewel. And I think there's one more quest after this, and then we're done with these Ether Current quests. Like I said, there might be more for Ulthan, but I can do that on my own time. I'll probably be doing most of these quests around Little Laran anyway, since I'm helping out the Pixies with the Beast Tribe quest, so I don't see why not.
Fair enough.
I mean, I suppose in that way I don't have to do these quests either, but the beavers. How could I refuse the beavers? I think I need to look out this way. There we go. I think you and Hagen's still a little bit of ways away, so Mizuko, let's finish this this is a little flight jaunt. I'm gonna have to let Parvati fly around in Raktika because I've only just gotten Parvati back and I haven't really let her spread her wings just yet, but that's okay. So the beaver told you to take a marble and a stump. Good, I'm glad. He's dead.
He's dead.
Their best sheep's milk farmer has just been also turned into a beaver, most likely.
These beavers are assholes.
I don't understand how it works. I don't think I'm meant to. But there you go. It's just all my friends are dying! And then there were none. Oh boy. Right. Okay. Uh-huh. Well, I'll do that. I don't really think this is gonna work out for any of you. So I guess if you for some reason didn't like the Pixies and Shadowbringers, you could do this quest line and they get their comeuppance for some of their bullshit, but I mean, I don't know. I don't mind. They're a bunch of kids. Like, what do you expect them to do? Be polite?
Preferably not turn people into shrubs. That's a little rude.
Yeah, well, I guess so. Hey, look, we have 2 beavers now. You're welcome. And in case it wasn't obvious, yeah, you and Hagen got turned into a beaver as well. And this was Ken Gyuf. So. As for, Ken Lad, or Lad Ken, I think is his name actually, it's the opposite.
Ooh, wee lad.
Yeah, Okay, he's still alive for now. Any sign of your friend? There are 2 beavers now. Well, hey, maybe you should go tell the beaver off. Yeah, because now you can all be together as beavers.
Beavers.
I better not send anybody else to Pfizer Laran, though, because I kind of need them to actually work on the Realm of Dreams, and if I send too many more people here in a search party for these people, I'm going to be doing the Beaver Beast Tribe quests instead of the Pixie ones, so...
Fucking beavers.
Ladkin, did you turn into a beaver as well? Yes. The answer is yes. Seek out Knees. Knees, huh? Who just names their kid Knees? Lovely pair of shoes inside the roof. Oh, they're gonna try to send even more people here, huh? Let's hope Knees has a little more common sense in their heads, so they don't believe the legend. Or else I'm going to come back here and Tierbeck's going to be like, yeah, I don't know where everybody went, but there's a lot of beavers just hanging out at the tower down there now. They're like, oh, fuck. So are you knees? Not exactly. A friend of mine told me to tell you to seek a reward from you, and also that there's some shoes that you might want. Yeah, about that, actually. You're gonna have to take that up with Feo Ul, but also they said they had some shoes that you could go find, so. Have fun! And now there are 4 beavers at Pfizer Loran. I think actually completing this quest line unlocks a vendor with them, if I recall correctly. Yeah, there it is right there. So what does the vendor do? Let's go find out. If I recall correctly, this vendor is used for buying EX gear from the Titania and the other trial fight in this X pack, so you needed to do this one in order to get your EX gear, but yep, there they are. 4 beavers.
Or beaver.
You can also buy a beaver if you want, but in order to buy the beaver, you need a dancing wing, and you can only get that from Titania EX, so have fun! Anyway, back to the Crystarium. Anyway, so that we can spare Cole the PTSD, let's go back to the Crystarium so we can do the role quests. Although I think before we do that, I'm going to go take a bathroom break and get some more water. So I will go do that. Cole, feel free to chat amongst the chat if you'd like, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I have returned.
Welcome back.
I really need to get into a better habit in terms of how I take the medicine for all this, though. Because the antibiotic, it says take it with food, so take it with, breakfast and dinner. But I can't take any vitamins, minerals, or other medicine for 2 hours either before or after it. So I think I need to figure out like what time of the day would be good to take a decongestant for this, so that I'm not like dying on the stream, but I'm also not like staying up till 3 a.m.
General.
So, yes, take a stretch break, take a hydration break, because I just took a break, so,
Ugh, my spine. Man, fuck, today's New Year's.
It is.
I'm gonna start putting 23 on the end of shit.
What, do you date stuff?
Yeah.
Glennard's right here. We can play a little triple triad with him while he's here. I wonder if he, like, changes his cards as you go. Swap Dissension 3 open. I feel like that's a little different from how it was, Dissension. Well, I can use a standard deck for that anyway, so it doesn't matter. He's gonna take one of my cards, though. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what you got. Sir, I don't know if that was a good first move, because Noctis solved this problem for me. Glennard, really, dude? Okay, anyway.
I remember when I played 15 for the first time on the subject of Noctis.
Yeah.
Fucking, you want to talk about a playthrough and a half? I never, like, did anything other than the story, and 15 drops a lot of side quests on you, like I was speed running the story, basically.
Mm-hmm.
My god, I was so low level at endgame, bro, it sucked.
There's actually
It
a trick
was so
that you
bad
can...
that for the back half of the game, I was making nothing but, like, toast.
Yeah. Well, that's
like,
normal, though.
The food you need nothing for.
Yeah. Well, that's normal, though, because, like, by the end game, there's a spoiler that happens where your main cook can't cook anymore, so...
Yeah.
But,
15 really hits you with the, man, you should have been leveling up those skills all this time.
You know what the funny thing is, though, is that there's a trick, actually, that you can do, like, right near the beginning of the game once you first go to the pier that was supposed to take you to Alticia, where you can farm these rare coins, and then you can attach them to magic, and you can get yourself to, like, level 100 in the first 10 hours. H.C. Bailey did that for his playthrough, and then he leveled up approximately 10 times across the next 90 episodes of playthrough. So...
But, yeah. I still remember, I think one of the most fascinating moments of 15's main game that's not a spoiler for me was the Adamantoise fight. Have you ever seen that, Jimmy?
It's a continent, right?
Yeah, it's a mountain.
Yeah.
So there's this mountain that's just on the overworld, near Hammerhead and that one diner that you get to at the early part of the game where you get all your initial quests. And it's like the biggest thing in the distance. You can see it, it's like the most, like, substantial thing in the entire landscape.
Yeah, it's a mountain
the last time
in the
of the
middle
game,
of a
it
desert.
just stands up.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, it's alive. Oh boy.
And everyone in the diner's freaking the fuck out when you take that quest. Like, what the fuck?
Speaking of taking quests, Granson wants to go hunting. He's going to write. So, you might want to go check the note that he left for you. And then meet us in Calusia, because that's where I'm a-going.
Man, you want to talk about printing money. Give me PC Bloodborne.
Do you know Final Fantasy 16 can never come to Xbox?
Why?
They actually made it PS5 and maybe PC exclusive. So... I don't know if it actually can go to PCs even, though, because, like, Xbox is Microsoft, and Sony said, yeah, no, 16 will never come to Xbox, and it's like, does that extrapolate out to PCs? Because that sounds like a death sentence.
Listen. Maybe they should make PS5s easier to get, and then maybe they can start thinking about exclusives, because the only thing that's going to do is tank 16 sales and make Yoshi P really sad.
Yeah. See, I shouldn't say anything because the last couple of times I've looked at PS5s, they've actually been available on PlayStation's website, so...
Weird.
Gonna knock on wood so that it stays that way, but, you know. Alright, so what do we need to do to track down Decayasine here? Okay, fair enough. Ask around town.
Decaosine. That sounds like fascinatingly like kerosene.
Hmm. It's probably a good way to kill him. Just douse him with kerosene and burn him.
I was under the impression that's just what black mages did, or what machinists did.
I was gonna say, I don't think that black mages even bother with the kerosene. I think they just burn. They're like, I'll figure out the chemical reagents to make them burn better later, after I put them in a lab and use them as an experiment. First, I have to burn them alive so that they end up being able to be experimented on to begin with. I'm doing the role
Guild
quest.
isn't that screwed up anymore.
Yeah, true. I'm doing the role quest, by the way, which is I'm doing the tank one first in case it wasn't clear what I was mentioning before. So. So Galgants are the Roganin. Okay, so then I don't know what the Drawn were. Well, whatever. Yeah, you know, I kind of get that, honestly. It's hard to talk about considering the fact that you guys are a small village and every single person that he could have killed could have practically been a brother or sister to somebody around here, so. I understand. Where's the second person? Gotta be in this section. Maybe like inside of a building or something? Are there any doors on these buildings? I don't think so. Maybe they're behind this building. Nope. Broken pot, but not any sign of decay seen.
Pot?
Maybe they're behind this building? Yep, there they are. Slow down, friend. Just a little information, that's all I need. Yeah, that one. No, he's not here anymore. That guy was very negatively affected by the Sin Eater. Holy shit, his mind is broken.
Damn, it's almost like they're horrible abominations beyond the reaches of time and space.
It's almost like these 4 Sin Eaters that we're talking about in these quests would have given us a pretty solid reason to explore around these villages, talk to the people, and actually rescue them from death and despair. They relegated them to side quests. Mostly just people's PTSD stories, to be honest, so. Yeah. Understandable. So, what's your connection to this village, man? Did you grow up here, or escape the horrors because you were an adventurer? Well, fair enough. The answer to that is yes. Yes, he did in fact grow up here. This is his hometown. I almost thought that said Menphilia for a second, but no, Melinda. Uh-huh. The Fangs of Orthus. Okay. Decay has seen it attacked and she was dead. Let me guess. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's what Sin Eaters mostly do in situations like this. Yeah, but you ran for each other out in the open while the Sin Eaters were wandering about. You should have told her to find cover while you took care of business. I mean, I guess hindsight's 20/20, you know. To finish her off, yeah. So I didn't say no to her here when I painted right with her blood. Oh boy. Well, it was a mercy killing, Granson. You can't be like, no, well, I don't know, I'm racked with guilt over this. She would have killed others if you hadn't done what you did. You can't blame yourself for it. I suppose he's not. He's just using it as fuel for his vengeance, so fair enough. See, he's the edgy Dark Knight around here. I'm like the comic relief Dark Knight compared to this guy.
It's funny because you look edgier than him.
Yeah, fair enough. I could probably cut somebody on the sides of this armor. Yeah, no, you should take some time if you need it, because you definitely need it. You've got as much PTSD as everybody else around here. So now Granson's going to stay here and write for the remainder of these quests, and everything that we do will be around this area, if I recall correctly. Although I think later he also ends up going to Ilmeg, but no, we don't have to worry about that. Back to the Crystarium! I guess we could go to Amarang to do the Summoner and Black Mage quests as well, but we'll do that after we do these.
Ugh.
Because we gotta go see Giad again, so let's go see Giad again. I might save Giad's to be like the last quest in the lines, honestly, because that's the one that I enjoy the most, just because of Giad. So.
Yeah, it's great.
But we're already here, so we'll do it now.
Still don't like the dwarves. Gotta give them a firm talking to about their traditions are bullshit. You know, basically what I'm gonna do in Garlic when I get back.
Well, we just gotta find the dwarf village first, then you can use it as practice. Giad shows no. I want you to read the description for this quest.
Giad shows no signs of having ceased drinking at any point since your last meeting.
It has been days! You're still at it! How are you alive? You're almost not. Like, what the... Giad, hello? Come on now. Come back to me. Yes. I don't know how much you had, but you sounded pretty plastered a second ago. I'm sure. So where are we going for
And why do all of Ardbert's friends have really fucking hard to pronounce names?
Those are their Sin Eater names, not Ardbert's friends' names. Their actual names are a lot easier to pronounce. Like, this one was Lamet, so before she
Why the fuck do they gotta name Sin Eaters so eldritchly?
I don't know.
Too many damn syllables.
Probably the Cabinet of Curiosity had some work in that, so, you know. It's like the Charlene of
a simpler naming scheme.
In Calusia. Okay, well, we were already over there, but this one's near Stilltide, so... Well, you go there and start your drinking. We'll be there momentarily. Excuse me.
As I was saying, I have a lot of practice telling people their traditions are bullshit. I mean, after all, we liberated Doma.
It's true. Yeah, fair enough. How do you even know I'm giving you a murderous stare? I have a mask on. Actually, no, you have a mask on too. Fair enough. Touché.
Drink some more. What a sluggard, what a drunkard, what a magnificent beard!
I can't grow a beard out like that. It curls too much in on my face, so.
Should really work on finding you a sense of
See, this is what I'm talking about. I love this. Give me more of this. Okay, what did you find? You can finish off the wine. I'm not a big drinker. You can drink enough for the both of us, and then some.
Enough for the three of us.
Yeah, really. I mean, listen, it's not pent-up rage for me. For her, on the other hand...
My thirst for violence is without end.
Well, your thirst for violence is about to be abated for a moment, because we're about to go kill some Sin Eaters, so, you know.
Where's my flamethrower?
Do you have a flamethrower?
Generally, I find...
Newlets? Because you're going to need them to be on your Newlets for these quests.
Fair enough. Also, you're going to jump off this cliff.
It's a sightseeing log entry. So after that, I'm going to jump off this cliff. But first... Surely this will shield my legs from being broken. Oh, it did not! It definitely did not! Eos! There. Now my legs will be fine. I
had to burn one of my orbs to make sure you were healthy there.
I mean, you didn't have to. The Fey Union's got me covered, but, you know.
You with your Fey Union. All your hazard pay.
It's not that hard to work with.
I was expecting at least more than one.
Yeah, I was expecting 2 because, you know, there's 2 of us, but...
Like,
Gonna make the joke, or...
not yet.
Okay.
I'm saving it to one point I will say it at the top of my lungs to a particularly important part of the story.
Fair
And
enough.
people will sue me.
Will they? I'm pretty sure that joke's in the public domain. Oh god,
Damn.
Calusian iguanas. Get the fuck away from me. They can use sticky tongue. Oh, there's one in the shadows, watch out. He's trying to sneak up on us like a ninja. Did you go all the way
Platforming.
around, or?
Yes.
Yes, of course you did. It's okay, by the time you get here, oh, okay. Let's say, by the time you get here, the forgiven whatevers will be here. I'll take the one on the right. Were you healing me? Is that why this one isn't dead yet?
No.
Oh, okay. That's what I was gonna say.
I just don't have as good of AoE.
Yeah, and
Or
to be
single
fair,
target.
yeah, I was gonna say, and to be fair, my yeah, I've got chain strat and biolysis and all that other stuff. So, man, the
I haven't
Conjur's
figured
Cloak
out-
can't catch a break. First MSQ brings us there, and that old lady almost gets eaten. Now we're gonna go back here with Giat.
I hope that old lady's not dead.
Yeah, me too. So what were you saying? You haven't figured out what?
I still haven't figured out how to mod the Crystal Tower Death Laser into these damn little newlets
Yeah, you'll figure it out eventually, I'm sure.
at level 90.
Yeah.
Suffers.
When I'm no
Why do they
longer
gotta
excited.
save all the cool shit?
That's what I mean, okay? So every 10 levels, there needs to be a capstone skill so that it always constantly feels like you're being drip-fed rewards. It's just, they don't do that
I
in
just
some
want to
cases.
fire my laser.
Yeah, I know.
Laser!
Is this wolf on your list of culling? Because I get the feeling this wolf
You could
is
talk
going
to
to
the
be...
Jihad from where I'm standing.
That's true. Over in those bushes, behind the wolf. Okay, it just took us into a cutscene, so that's fine. Just checked, you have 40 more fates in Calusia, not 45? Well, still, that's a buttload, so... I don't envy you that's for sure. I don't even know what you get for rank 3 rewards around here. Like, I know you get the Deep Shadow Barding in Lakeland if you get to rank 3. I've gotten that on my alt, but... everything else, not so much. No, there's Lamet. And those Senior's about to be revived. That was a dark revival spell. On this horse head with wings. Uh-huh. Oh, hang on, I'm getting something. Getting an echo vision. Might be able to see how the resurrection works. Hold on. Keep me from dying.
I never thought they could make a Lalafell terrifying.
Just invert her color palette. Perfect. Then you're done with Shadowbringers, Shared Fates, and then you have to do Endwalker.
Those damn flying Sin Eaters remind me terribly of a certain traumatic moment in Fullmetal Alchemist for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, see, I didn't watch Full Metal Alchemist, so I don't know what you mean.
Better.
I can't do much for the dead. My resurrection only works in non-cutscene deaths, but the living I can fix. Oh, so this is how they met. Okay. What do you mean you can't believe it? Do you not know how healing magic works? Actually, you're a sprout at this point, Ardbert, so you probably don't. Ardbert about that. Oh, boy. You need to listen with your ears, Ardbert. I know you just came up from the brink of death, but, like, it's quite clear when you hear them, even through the beards, whether it's male or female under that helmet. Oh, boy. It's not a real beard. Oh, boy. And then they murdered everything. Because Lamet had a penchant for violence that Ardbert had never seen before.
Most Lalafels do.
Fair enough. They gotta, you know, release their pent-up frustration on the world somewhere. He got a new glamour. Why didn't Lamet get a new glamour? Did you hold all the money for yourself there, Ardbert? I wish I could talk to Ardbert in some of these scenes so that I could be like, yeah, what the hell, man? Ma'am, those insults don't work on me. I'm not a dwarf. But I'm back in the realm of the living now, so hello. That was colorful. Did you get a thesaurus for Christmas?
What is the matter with you?
I'm pretty sure hobgoblins have more fun than I do, to be honest.
You sure I hope.
Because their lives are filled with nothing but stealing strangers' gold, so, like, I don't get to do that. Okay. That, my dear Giad, is the echo. That tells me what happened in their past. Yeah. Something like that.
You'd have some kind of weird power.
Well, of course you knew. I'm the main character. Well, no, of course she wasn't born a monster. I mean, you're not a monster either. No one's born a monster. They become that way.
Fuck that guy.
Except who?
Xenos. Fuck that guy.
He was created a monster, though. Like in a lab. Anyway, that takes care of that. Maybe we'll find out more about Lamet as we go so we can find a strategic edge. But in the meantime, let's head back to the Crystarium. Oh, it didn't even take me back there. Okay, well, my spell's return's not ready, so I guess I'll just take Cole's return. So. And then after this, we got 2 more. We got to go take care of things with Lurik, and then we'll go back to Amarang to see if we can find the real main character of the magic DPS quests, role quests. You're back to the drinking. You know, I don't even understand how you can stand up. I'm sure you did stuff this time. No, unfortunately I didn't. I will keep it in mind, and we'll see what we can do later. You do that, Giat. You think while you drink. Next! Thanks, Eos. Lurik, you ready to pay for us to find the next phase of this Sin Eater hunt? Or what? Why are you looking at me with such surprise, man? Did you not expect to see me again? Do most of your charges not come back after the first time? See, this one's not too hard to pronounce. It's just Andrea. It sounds like a Vobertan name, which seems strange considering this one never lays foot in Vobert, but, you know. Speaking of your hireling, in Amarang, near Samiel's Backbone. Oh, good. I'm going back to Amarang anyway. Yeah, Andrea, call her by her actual name, you should. Yeah, so it's Renda Ray, is the actual name. But, everybody here refers to her as Andrea because they didn't know her when she was a real person. Sorry, I had to take a stretch break. Sounds like we got our info. listen, man, I understand. I have retainers to help with my intelligence network, too. I just don't treat them like garbage.
You have an intelligence network?
Yeah. You didn't know? How do you think I keep apprised of everything that happens in the world?
For somebody with an intelligence network, you're terrible at picking up the phone.
That was because of the interference. Here, take my teleport to Mordsu. Okay, off to Samiel's backbone. Oh hey, you teleported right next to where I was walking anyway.
I brought my gun.
You might have to Peloton yourself to keep up with me because I have a trait that gives me 20% extra movement speed. Except your Peloton also gives me Peloton, so... Angry!
No, I know ninjas are just supposed to be faster than shit. But I cannot even physically imagine people who have forgotten about the 20% buff and then immediately fucking exploded. Because they ran at the boss faster than the tank.
I have actually done that before. I've accidentally pulled on Ninja because I ran at the boss faster than the tank did a couple of times. Hasn't happened in a while, but I'm sure it'll happen eventually. So this was a whale at one point, right? There must have been like an ocean here at some point, but not anymore. It's an ocean of sand now. Alright, let's go see if we can find this Sand Eater spider then. Alright.
Legion of spot!
Let's hope it's not a legion. That would be I mean, I guess we would be able to fix it because, you know, you have a flamethrower and I have a bunch of knives and also, you know, ninjutsu magic.
I'm kind of surprised, honestly, with Shadowbringers being the way it was, that, like, all the A's and B ranks weren't some kind of Sin Eater. Because, like, I understand that natural fauna are kind of, like, a normal thing, but, like, considering the themes of the expansion, I feel like it would have found...
Sorry, I'm just telling you where to go so you don't get attacked.
I feel like it would have been a lot more prudent to show how much the Sin Eaters are threatening if they're not even touching the local wildlife, and they're just like, yeah, there's some powerful beasts out there, but the Sin Eaters are much worse, if the Clan Nutsy was entirely devoted to annihilating them.
Yeah, and you know, the other thing, too, is that it's not like the story eliminates every Sin Eater from existence by the end of 5.0, spoiler alert, but they're not all entirely gone. It's implied that most of them are gone, but some of them are still hanging around. So, it's not like they have that excuse to fall back on. It's like, well, we can't make them the A and B ranks, because after 5.0, it won't make sense that they're around. It's like, no, they're still here, so... I don't know. Sand moles have surprisingly good vision, but if we go on this rock, we should be okay. I think I see our destination.
Sand moles?
Yeah.
Vision.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Vision.
Also, the tortoise is moving, so just follow me and we should be good. Exarch said they'd be forced to retreat after he murdered the Paul of Light, so how are they still around? Ask the writers of Final Fantasy XIV. Because I don't know.
Oh, shit!
Oops. That's the wrong button. There we go. Nice air anchor.
The other thing you use reassembled on.
Yeah, that's true. You know, if for some
Especially
reason...
if you use Bioblaster.
Yeah, like if for some reason reassembled is up, but drill is not, you could just be like, hey.
Hey. I know Bioblaster is just AoE, but even though it shares a fucking recast timer with drill, I still use it because it's a dot.
Yeah, I get that. I'd have to, like, look it up and see how much the dot is to see if it has the same potency as drill or if it's less, so...
I mean, if it's just a reassembled AoE drill...
Yeah. Because I don't know what the potency of Bioblaster is on a single target. I mean, obviously on more than one target it's going to be valuable because it spreads that around to multiple targets, but... I don't know what the potency is.
What if the reason why it's just AoE drill is that every tick if it's a crit direct hit? Jesus.
That sounds like a warrior thing. Make sure you put your warrior dot in your inner release window because it's a direct crit every time it ticks.
Because Yoshi P loves warrior.
Oh, I think I found her. We should probably hide. I mean, she already knows where I am. She was a tracker and a hunter in real life before she turned into a Sin Eater, but, you know. Oh, dying.
Probably
Rory,
not
save me. Having an echo vision. Why is Coeurl
Alright,
Regina
I'll go
here?
fight her.
Okay, have fun. Why is Coeurl Regina here?
Damn, that's fucking creepy as shit looking.
Yeah, it's just a palette swapped version of the monster that you can fight in the Geranian Forelands.
Abalum Kits.
Yeah. Different name, same result.
That's a weird amalgamation of models, and I kind of hate it.
It's a Coeurl with antlers.
I know. The body's different, actually.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's not as like down
The
to
upper
the bottom.
body is the same thing.
The
lower
upper body's a
not.
Coeurl, the bottom half is a dragon, and it has antlers.
Hate this thing.
Are you guys sure you're gonna be able to... You're wearing low-level gear and you're trying to fight Coeurl, Regina? This is gonna end poorly for all of you. Why do you hire these people who aren't patient and have good heads on their shoulders? Don't you need that as an archer? Also, why did you stand in its AoE? That AoE is almost as large as the petrification AoE that Mayhees gives. I hate Mayhees. Ow. Man, you're lucky. It could have decided to eat all three of you. And then Ardbert and Lamet found her. Or she buried her comrades. Well, that sucks. Well, you might get the chance, considering you're going to be in Ardbert's party pretty soon. That party will probably fare a little bit better than 3 archers, considering you'll have a tank and a healer. 2 tanks, actually. Echo Vision. I see the past, and in this case I saw Renda Ray's, or in your case, Andrea's past. Speaking of which, how's that fight going over there?
She got away.
Yeah. I'm not really that surprised. We'll get her.
I've never seen an archer split bullets with arrows before.
Damn. We're gonna have to put our heads together for that one, I think.
Those weren't just bullets either. They were slugs.
I'm using a shotgun. I don't understand how that works. Well, Lurik wants to go celebrate, so I guess we're gonna go celebrate. Or should we take
Better
care
pay
of
for all the ammo I just wasted.
Or should we take care of the summoner / black mage stuff while we're here and then go celebrate with Lurik?
Summoner black mage stuff while we're here.
That
It's
makes
more
sense.
efficient.
Yeah. Makes sense. Then we don't gotta leave and then come back. I'll wait for you, and then I'll turn... Well, actually, I'll turn into summoner now, but then I'll wait for you after that. Might as well get Carbuncle out here.
Uncle.
Alright, so... I think if we go around this rock to the left and then head to the right, we'll make it. Yep, there we go. Nice and easy. Oh, by the way, if you don't feel like going all the way to Stilltide to practice on striking dummies, there are also striking dummies here in Mordsuk that you can practice on, so... There you go. Yeah.
I never noticed those striking dummies.
Yeah. You really only see them from the air, to be honest. I saw them one time when I was flying on an Amaro coming back this way for some hunts, so... It's nice, though. They're a nice little resource if you don't feel like going to Calusia. Alright, let's go see what Sarig's been up to since we were last here. A
sitting
voice
here.
from the void. Oh, good. We're gonna see the 13th now. Fun.
Won't have to wait until. I'm not gonna say it.
Phronesis, huh? Okay. I don't remember this guy's actual name. Was it Nielbert, I think? It was the elven guy that was in their party. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh. Yeah, that's good thinking, Sarek. See, I feel like out of everybody in the quest lines here, Sarek feels like the most sensible of the people that kind of leads the quest line. Like, he's like, no, I've got a very distinct plan on how I'm going to deal with this. I'm just not a mage, so I don't really understand how their ancient arts work, and that's why I need you. So. Okay, so we got to repair a mannequin so we can use it as bait. Got it. Sure. I'll go take care of that, and I'll be back momentarily. Ready to fry a sandskin Sibyli?
Yeah. You know, I'm surprised you never asked why Black Mage.
I figured you just like blowing stuff up.
Kind of. It was more like I couldn't communicate with the summons after I got to the first, so I fell back on my old red mage ways, and then I found out that I could no longer control both white and black magic at the same time, so I had to find ways to augment them to make sure I didn't accidentally set off a fire spell powerful enough to destroy the Crystarium.
That's a fair reason, yeah, to swap over.
So I just split it up into Sage and Black Mage.
I'm surprised you can't control. Well, okay, so I don't know about white magic and black at the same time, but could you theoretically switch to white mage? I mean, you're not going to need to because you've got Sage now, but
theoretically I could. It's just the funnels in Sage help me control them better.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, look, those tortoises are up to their usual antics again. They keep trying to tear that tower down. I mean, it's never going to work. It has no HP bar, so I don't know why they try, but A for effort, I guess.
Tortoises really don't like that down tower.
Yeah. I'm going to go around this way. I don't know if it's a good idea, because there's also a Sibylis in the gap there, but we might be able to thread the needle. I'm going to hang out by this tree and see where they move on their next pass. Metal Gear! Once this short tail one moves, the other one should move as well, so then we can kind of just walk through. Just gotta have a little patience. Okay. So, right over here. Yeah, just hug the wall, they shouldn't see us.
Famous last words.
And then we'll just meander our way past you, like this. Keep you in my radar, just in case. And made it. See, that wasn't so bad. I'll make a ninja out of you one day, my friend.
Maybe if I figure out how the rotation works.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, good. I'll get its attention. Have some searing light.
Give me a minute.
Okay. There you go.
Easy.
So you say that, but I don't know. I kind of feel like just teleporting back to Mortsuk.
Same.
So I'm just gonna do that. You paid for the last one, I'll pay for this one. See, like, we could wait to do this until we had all the ether currents here, but that would be a long time to wait, so.
Yup.
We'll just do them as we go. It's fine.
Amarang is that area of the map where you have to wait until, like, near the end of the expansion to fly here, which drives me fucking nuts!
Not as bad as Calusia. That's even later.
Eh.
Okay, well, I got the tendon we need, so hopefully all of these things put together will allow us to trick this thing into thinking it's an enemy. Okay. I'll go find the high ground then, so we can make sure Anakin doesn't kill us. I mean, Phronesis doesn't kill us.
It's over, Anakin!
Yeah, that.
It's over, Bananakin. I have the high ground.
You underestimate my potassium levels.
It was literally just that scene, but it was like deepfake to Obi-Wan saying Bananakin, and then it just smash cuts over to Anakin, and he's wearing a banana suit.
Oh my god.
That's it.
That's some 2008 internet humor. That's some non sequitur humor. I haven't seen that in years.
See, the turtles have given it a rest bonking the tower.
Yeah, but this is the different Tulba. This is Tulba number 3, I think. Number 1 is off to the north. I might be able to see it if I go close to it. No, it just shows the general area. Okay. Well, this might be a suitable spot. Now let's wait for Sarek to get here, and then we wait for the void to suck up everything, because it's actually the dead zone.
The suck.
Yeah, that. Oh, it's an actual real automaton. Holy shit. Are you sure you and him don't want to compare notes, Rory, considering he just made a robot?
Oh, I could build that thing in an hour.
Oh, okay. I thought it was impressive. Apparently not.
I mean, I rebuilt Cruise Chaser. You didn't think that was impressive?
I did think that was impressive. I think it's impressive every time we get on it.
Fact that it transforms.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah, I can imagine. That kind of articulation, I can't even fathom. Oh, you see him? Okay. I'll get away from this fire that Rory lit. I will attempt to hold my gaze. I will use the goggles on this thing.
What the hell?
So, you can't do that with your staff, right?
I might be able to if I crush the limiter, but
Yeah,
I also don't want to kill everyone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if crush the limiter sounds like a terrible idea. So. Okay, so what do you want to do then, Sari? Let him stare into the void with his one dead eye. Surprised he didn't see us and try to send us to the void. Considering we're not exactly hiding up here. Mannequin, your sacrifice will not be forgotten. This poor guy is about to take a one-way trip to proverbial hell. Eee! Okay, so it's like a 15 yalm radius, it looks like. That's not too bad. We can work with that. I mean, we might be able to bring him back one day, depending on if the void we can ever pass to it, you know. I mean, I've already seen the Cloud of Darkness. I think I'll pass on that vacation, thank you. It's got quite a gravity pull, though. Look at my cloak whipping in the wind. Well, a shadowy whirlwind does rage inside, because if the Cloud of Darkness is back on her feet after we gave her a significant beating about a year and a half ago, then she's probably pretty pissed. Do you hear that?
Unfortunately, yes.
I mean, I just heard one, I think. There's a kid in there. Yeah, I would agree with you, but... What did you do, kid? Self-actualize while in the void? Follow my voice! How do I get you out? That's the question I'd want to ask you, because you probably can see in there a little better. What, you can't understand it? Yeah. So do we send him to Mord Sook, or... You know, that's a possibility. I'm sure I can figure something out. Alright, I'll use my ether trail to see if I can get the kid out. I was going to say follow my voice, kid, but follow my ether trail. Gives me something to do with all this light ether I couldn't shoot as a satellite beam. Wicked white indeed, that's where all this ether came from. Well, it wasn't enough to get rid of it, but... And there's the kid, and thankfully he didn't get sucked back in. Sarah, you wouldn't happen to have any potions on you, would you? I would physic him, but it heals for like 600. So... I told you. Excuse me. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. He's probably not had food and water in a while. Excuse me.
Somebody get a scholar.
Boy, I wish
Maybe
I could
a
just
white
switch
mage.
to that. This quest knows what's up, though. This quest puts us back at Mordsuk. Not like Lou Reek's quest forced us to walk back.
You'll be happy to know that Endwalker does this consistently.
Yeah, well, it should.
Mercifully.
Well, it should, because, like, that's only fair. Like, I don't want to walk back. I'm just gonna teleport anyway, like... Might as well do it for me, you know? So there was a child in that void. He's probably not the first.
This is just getting weirder and weirder.
This quest line gets pretty good, though. Like, all of the side quest lines, I think, are pretty good in terms of the role quests in this one. Again, I think I'd rather them than what we get for the main quest, but, you know. That's a possibility, and I will have to use my ether to give them an ether trail like I just did, but I don't know exactly where to start with that. But, yeah, it's probably better to, you know, wait for the kid to wake up. I have... Do you need advice? As a matter of fact, yes, I look after children all the time. Oh, Jesus. Alright, well, good luck with fatherhood, Sarig. Yes, that is a good idea. Get him some food and some water, and get him some shelter and some fire when it gets cold tonight, and there you go. Yeah, but if you take him to the physician, if they recommend any medicine for him on an empty stomach, it's gonna hurt, so... Just don't overthink it, Sarig. Don't think, feel. That's the important part about being a dad, okay? Thank you for helping a little bit there, Carbuncle. Back to Ninja and back to Lurik. Almost on the same pixel. And then we're done with role quests.
Perfect.
Yes. And then we're done with role quests for the day, and we can finally start the Crystalline Mean quests.
And by we, I mean you.
What do you mean? I'm dragging you along for the culinarian and gatherer stuff.
Back.
It's not that bad, and it'll get you a little bit of extra EXP, so...
From what I remember from those quests, a little bit is a tiny bit of an understatement.
I mean, I looked at the thing, and I did the math, and you get, like, a total of 13 million across all the deliveries, so...
Jesus Christ.
It's not enough to get you to 80 from where you are now, but if you combine that with your custom deliveries each week, you'll be fine. So...
Where the hell does...
What?
Lurik, how rich are you?
Yes.
Must be from Yulmore.
He is from Yulmore. Where do you think he got all the fancy clothes? He doesn't have Yulmoran manners, though. Listen to him burping. Good lord, man. You'd think he was from Doma.
Dumb.
Lurik, I don't think you... Pretty soon I'm gonna have to send you and G out to Alcoholics Anonymous. Good lord. That's because I'm the only one who will deal with your bullshit. I'm glad that you'll decide to take the credit at first. Usually it makes sense, though, because usually when you have a team name like this, you don't put the person with 2 syllables at the beginning unless you don't have somebody who has less than 2 syllables, so... I'd rather
It's funnier from me because it's Reek and Rory. Which sounds like
See,
a
that
fucking
actually...
comedy show.
I was gonna say, yeah, that actually sounds pretty good. That sounds like it would, you know, work as a team name. Uh-huh. Well, you do that. Yeah, I guess if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you were a Gillionaire. A little worried about it, yeah. Where do you get this money from? because it doesn't seem like you do much else. Well, we can worry about his financial woes later when he actually gets himself deep into debt. So, for now, that takes care of the role quest. Let's go to the Crystalline Mean. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. So I can show off my new airship technician glamour. Well, it's not new anymore. I already showed it off, but, you know. Did I go to the right place? Yes, it's just not where I thought it was. Okay. So, the Crystalline Mean. How does it work? Well, let's have a chat with Catliss, and she'll let us know.
The Crystalline Mean quests are infinitely easier if you're like me and you just need to use them as a means to fucking level up. Because by this point on my main, I was so overgeared that these quests literally took me not long at all.
Yeah, and
an indiscernible amount of time.
And the what you need in terms of the materials are pretty easy to procure for most of the stuff, especially if you're doing it like Cole's doing it, where you're not doing all 5 facets at once. Like, it's pretty easy to just blaze right through these, so... Anyway, let's find out just how easy by talking to Catliss. Still waiting for Cole, but he'll get here in a moment. There he is. I do have some skills as a crafter and a gatherer, Catliss, so sure, why not? Put them to use. So what work needs doing? Alright. And once she tells you about all the different facets, that'll unlock all the facets, and you can go talk to each of them individually. Right, makes sense. Better to roll all that into one, easier to, you know, keep your provisions handy. Yeah, so there are a total of 5 facets, and they're based on... there's 8 crafters and 3 gatherers. There are 3 crafter facets that kind of loop a bunch of them together into metalwork, non-metalwork, and cooking, quote-unquote. And then for gatherers, Fisher has its own, and then Miner and Botanist have theirs stuck together, so... But yeah, there you go. So the facet of forging, Iola oversees it. The facet of crafting, it's overseen by someone who's not here. She left her Allegan recording note here instead. We have the facet of nourishing. Bethrick is a veterinarian, so he'll be the one we talk to there. The facet of gathering for miners and botanists, overseen by Keshi Ray. I like her. I think this is one of my... Honestly, this, even though it's not like a split quest line, like for miner and botanist, I actually kind of enjoy this quest line. It's kind of interesting. It scratches an itch for me. And then there's the facet of fishing, which is overseen by Frithric. I don't know if I said that right, but there you go. And there's your facets. We'll be doing all of them, slowly but surely, though. We won't be finishing all... Well, we'll be finishing all of them shortly after 5.0's over, but we'll be doing them slowly as the MSQ moves on, so that way I don't inundate Cole with things to do that he doesn't want to do. Alright then. I will check in with all of them, actually. Starting with the ones that actually Cole actually cares about, so that way he can get them on his map, and then he can go from there. I'll do the other 3 after that. So which one you want to do first? Do you want to do the facet of nourishing, or want to do the facet of gathering?
I guess we'll do facet of gathering.
Gathering it is. Let me get my miner out. How much max HP do I have? 8,000. Why do you only have... Oh, that... You know, I know what. I know why you only have 5. It's because you're still on level 70 gear, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, you'll still be able to do these quests, so no big deal. Here is Keshi Ray. These ones are really easy, too, because basically there's just a bunch of things that they want you to gather that you can just go and grab, and you get 6 of them and you're done, so... You don't even have to bother getting high quality anymore for the extra experience. Well, I heard you needed a few hired hands, actually. I'm not in need of something from you. I'm here to help you, so...
I'm just here for the gil.
Fair enough. No, actually, I'm rather glad that you don't know who I am. It makes my anonymity all the better. I'm from the same land as the Crystal Exarch, actually, and he told me to help out where I could, so... I'm looking for places to help
I
out.
love how they just give you the option sometimes to just disregard Sark's advice.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to
Even
be
if it's only jokingly.
if you wanted to be a real dickhead to Graha, which I mean, I'm tempted, but let's just make it easier. Let's not break these people's brains.
Graha can educate them on the shards when the world isn't ending.
Yeah. The Samael, huh? I've heard of the Samael around here. There's a big friggin' skeleton out in the desert over there, but I've never heard of a Samael where we came from. Oh boy. Can I ask what you need me to do first before you go running away? Okay. Maybe I can ask the assistant. Off to hunt the Samael. Again. Apparently not. So this is Yolana, and she's, okay, she's with the Horatorium, but she kind of is like the second in command for the Facet of Gathering. So. Okay, sure. The Amaro launch? Yeah, I can. Since it looks like she ran off without using the crystal, the Aetherite, I can probably just use that to catch up to her.
I wonder if she functions on Hildebrand's assistant logic.
Let's
She's
find
not
out.
bound by the concepts of gravity or physics.
Let's find out.
Why do I feel like I should be on warrior now as opposed to...
I mean, you still have an axe. You just have to inter-release all the trees.
That would be a beautiful joke skill for higher level gatherer, is just inner release, but for botanist.
I mean, you could get that power-up emote on the Mog Station and then just be on botanist when you do it.
I have that emote on my main.
Well, there you go. Sure, what assistance do you need with your fieldwork? Also, yeah, Yolana wants you to go to the Horatorium before you go do fieldwork, so... I suppose she will, so let's go to the Horatorium.
Stop dying.
Trying. Cabinet of Curiosities, it looks like. Because it's down here. Wish I could tell my cough that. It's funny though, because like I feel like I've kind of slowed down in the coughing department, not necessarily because it's way better than it was. I mean, it is better than it was, but I think it's because my body's just tired of coughing. Like I've got a sore back from all the coughing I've done, so I think I'm just at this point, my body's just like, nope, you're not gonna cough anymore because it hurts us too much. So.
Mowlad.
It's a pixie name. You're welcome. Sure, what do you guys do here at the Horatorium? I mean, obviously, hydroponics, but, you know. Ah, okay, and you even do crossbreeding and stuff here. Rory, it sounds like you've got some studying you can do here, since you're into that whole botany thing.
The only reason I've been keeping up with my botany is I've had to scavenge food in the field.
That's true, yeah. Oh, okay, so I can bring you guys resources that Keshi, Ray, and I find over the course of this facet, and then you'll be able to analyze them. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, because, yeah, your resources are scarce, so you gotta make sure you know what you can use and what you can't. Well, we have naturalists in our place, too, so... Sure. Okay. I don't share your massive enthusiasm for it, but it makes sense to me. Something of a character, sure.
He's completely off her rocker.
Yeah, well, it's okay. I guess it takes all kinds. I guess Yolana sees it like you do, though. Damn, cutting that one deep. Yeah, but most of those fairy tales are rooted in some fact. Oh, Jesus.
Jesus Christ, Keshi.
These two are gonna be fun together once this is all done. I'll go make sure she doesn't run off again.
And I have no wrinkles, thank you very much. Jesus Christ.
Alright, back to the crystalline means so that we can see what her field research entails. Like I said, we won't be gathering this stuff up now. I will be taking time in between the various areas that we go to gather this stuff up, though. The next time we'll be doing anything for the crystalline mean will be after we're done in Raktika, so...
Oh boy, Raktika.
We'll get there, and then
You're gonna get so angry you're gonna look back around to being calm.
We'll get
I've written
there.
entire character studies about villains who've had that happen to them.
We'll get there.
Where
We'll
they
get
go
done
so
with it,
crazy
and then
they
we'll
loop around to being sane.
Yeah. Well, she's a horticulturalist, and she's very, like, specifically dry with her humor, so... Okay. I did, in fact, see that colossal ribcage. Hey, look, that was timely. We were just there. Really? Okay, and how did they manage that one? Well, yeah, so the Facet of Gathering is a small mystery where you get to figure out whether the Samael is extinct or not. And you also get a captain's title, so that's cool.
Captain Pellegrin of the Samael Search Squad. I like the sound of that.
Okay, fair enough. Again, it's probably better to let them know it's extinct anyway. If it is, then they don't have to worry about it. They won't know if it's actually extinct until then, until you find out it's considered... There's like 2 different classifications of extinction. It's like a relative one where they're not sure, and then there's one where it's like, no, we have actual knowledge that says it's extinct, so...
Sometimes even those are wrong.
Yeah, that's true too, depending on where they look and how old the info is.
I vividly recall reading a report at one point that a species that had been classified extinct for like 5 decades or something was found on a small island in the middle of fucking nowhere.
That sounds about right.
Surrounded by rocks.
Okay, so each facet tells you that basically you have to deliver things. It's kind of similar to how custom deliveries are, but it's also like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, as I'll talk about when we get to the crafting ones. The gathering ones are basically just custom deliveries completely. You give her enough materials so that her esteem goes all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corresponds to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of animal traces, and then you get her esteem level up and you unlock new deliveries. So in order to get her to the next custom delivery level, quote-unquote, you need to find 18 animal traces total, and you can't right-click on them within there to check where they're found, but if we go in here and we search animal trace, in our gathering log, it will let us know that you can quarry it in Amarang at Twitch, kind of close to where the backbone is anyway. As for harvesting it, you can harvest it near Snitch, which is even closer to the backbone. So, there you go. You want me to show it on the screen so you can see where to go for it?
I see it.
Okay. Yeah, it's in your gathering log if you need it. So we'll need to get a total of 18 of those, but again, I'm going to do that on screen after Raktika is over, so don't worry about that for now. It's nothing we need to concern ourselves with until then. So, as for the other one that Cole and I will be doing together, let's go talk to Bethric and talk about the Facet of Nourishing. The other 3 I'll just do myself and give Cole a break so he can log off and do whatever he wants.
Oh boy. I wonder what they're going to have me cook over here.
Let's find out. He's a veterinarian, so it might be something interesting. Yeah, we've been cooking a little bit. Our clothes probably have a little bit of onigiri smell on them. I am,
Are you by chance a culinarian?
Looks at your chef's smock. What do you think?
All the food you make here is tasteless trash.
Well, yeah, because most of them are veterinarians rather than actual cooks. Necessity breeds tastelessness. There you go. That's an idea. No, actually, I'm pretty sure, yeah, you need a big guy like you to handle Amaro, because if they get a little feisty, you need a big guy to restrain them. Oh, do you? Okay. Sounds like that's where we're going next, then.
Still waiting for a part in the culinarian quest in the future, if they ever continue them, where you just hit somebody with your pan because they're being an idiot. And just like a big old plonk.
That would be nice. I feel like it's a lot to ask, but that would be nice.
auto attack them with your pan, and all you hear is just a big plong sound effect.
An injured Amaro. Uh-oh.
No, baby.
Aww. Well, that's
Who's the
unfortunate.
owner? I'll kill them.
I will hit them with my pan. I will turn the auto attack thing on. Okay, well, those are probably good signs, right? Yeah. Sure. Sounds like a plan. Why would I be saying no? I've literally already worked with Amaro. I went to Wollickdorf. Hold on, baby. We're gonna make you better. You know what this cutscene needed? It needed to be like one of those A Realm Reborn cutscenes where they have custom like modeling specifically for the cutscene where it actually showed you petting the Amaro and it just like snuggling into your hand.
That would be cute.
Yeah, but they don't do that for side quests in this game anymore. I mean, I've got a knack for caretaking, but I don't like to let it show. Yes, I've heard, actually. I've been to Wollickdorf. You're not hearing me when I keep saying that, are you, Bethrick? They're very compassionate beasts. Well, are you a... Oh, okay. I was going to say, are you a rider? Because you could still do that if you were a rider, but apparently...
I mean, I could talk to the Fae. I think we could arrange to turn you into one if they're capable of turning people into bushes and beavers.
I mean, at the very least, they could give him a glamour. But this guy wants to go full-on anthropomorphic and just turn into an Amaro. I don't, thank you. But I'm glad you have a dream. That's nice. Amaro taxonomy? Uh-huh.
Taxonomy.
Oh, another one? Jesus. Do you guys often get Amaros with infested wounds and poisonings? Yeah, I'm coming with you.
What the fuck is happening to the Amaro population in this damn city?
It's probably the Yomorans. Let's
I'll
go
kill 'em.
find out. You have another reason to hit them over the head with your frying pan now.
The innocent ones could live.
Yeah, but only them.
We need somebody to fix the city up after we're gone.
It's true. Oh, this one looks even worse off than the last one.
Bugger.
Well, what's the damage, Mr. Veterinarian? And what's your results? Okay. I mean, yeah, I was gonna say either Yomorans or poachers. They really use Amaro tongues as a delicacy? That's disgusting. Well, I guess at the very least it didn't succeed this time. But yeah, we gotta make sure this one doesn't, die. Having second thoughts, Mr. Veterinarian? Oh, I see the problem then. Yeah, so if you guys use your feed to try to get their strength up, they won't eat it because they've had taste aversion now. You know, that's fair, actually. I'm sure I could concoct something that the Amaro would appreciate that doesn't look like your feeding stores. Surprised it's already not, being revolting considering there's a big pile of feed behind it.
I recall back when I was an old, we had to deal with some poachers out there.
How'd you deal
It did
with
not
them?
end well for them.
Well, I figured.
Well, you see, that was back when I was still taking up the axe, so,
Yeah, executioner style. Okay, good. What do we got? Oh, so this might be an Ilmegamaro. Okay. A Berub Skipper. Okay, not an Ilmegamaro. Someplace completely outside the realm of your current knowledge. Well, all the more reason we have to prevent him from being poisoned, then. Yeah. Well, it's a good thing I've already been to Olikdorf. I can just go ask them for some notes. So yeah, the Amaro, the Facet of Nourishing quest, has you saving this Amaro by occasionally giving it enough food to allow it to actually work up its strength again and eventually become able to fly. Okay, sounds like a plan. As for the recipe that you'll need to craft in order to turn them into Bethric, he needs a total of 18 of them, but you make a total of 3 of them from each recipe, so you only need to do 6 of them as usual. So, it is the edible antidote. So if you go into your recipe search and then you search edible antidote, you can
As
check out
opposed to the inedible antidote.
Yeah, you wouldn't want it to be inedible in this case. And like I said, these are really easy to craft. Like difficulty 756, quality 1980. We've had harder things to craft in Adkurog's quests, honestly. So even if you just have normal quality materials for this, they're really simple to craft. There's nothing to it. If you can make antidotes as an alchemist, though, you use a high quality one for the recipe, it increases the quality by 75%, if I recall correctly, rather than the usual 50, making it even easier to get it high quality and even easier to get even more experience out of this. So, yeah, there you go. But there's the things that you'll need, the materials that you'll need for this one. This is by the time we get done with Raktika. You'll need 6 Crescent Spring Water, 6 Holy Basil, 6 Persimmon Leaves, and 6 Antidotes. I can get you the Crescent Spring Water because that's minor stuff, but the rest of it is either purchase the antidotes from the shop or go gather Holy Basil and Persimmon Leaves. Although, to be fair, I might have to get those for you too, considering they're kind of back in the source. Whoops. I'll get Ghost Hammer right on that. My bad. Okay, so you're done for the day. The rest of them are just going to be me hitting up the other Crystalline Mean quests, so feel free to... Okay, you're already logged off.
Fair enough. Alrighty, everyone. I'm going to head out of the stream for the night because I'm going to go take a nap.
Okay. You go do that, and I'll get you the Crescent Spring Water, I don't know, at some point before we're done with Raktika. Probably by the end of next week, because I think that's when we'll be done with Raktika. So...
Alrighty.
Okay, Cole, take it easy.
Have a good night.
Yep. Bye. What did I say? Oh, he's still here, but no, there he goes. He's gone. Alright, we got 3 more quests to do, so let's do them, and then after that we'll call it a day. Here is the, one of the facets of crafting. I guess this one's just the facet of crafting. Are you okay, dude? Ether blockage isn't really my specialty, but I might be able to... Oh, okay. Sure. Should I hit you with my hammer? I have an awl, actually. I don't have a hammer on this class. Theuna. I guess there he goes. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I don't want it to cause harm to civilians. I don't need that on my track record while I'm here. I'm trying to keep a low profile with this disguise and shit and these crafting quests. Let me take a drink before I'm dying again. Oh, think I found what I was looking for. And a troubled citizen while I was at it. Oh boy. Help me, Theuna. You're my only hope. Maybe this is Theuna, or maybe this is somebody else. Not exactly. I was trying to make sure this Allegan node didn't go high voltaging anybody. Naughty, huh? Oh boy. Wouldn't it be easier to get someone who actually knows how Allegan technology works to look at him? Or, I was gonna say, you might need specialized knowledge to fully fix that. I have a friend who might be able to do something about it. Well, not versed in such machines, versed in crafting. When it comes to these machines, I ain't got no idea where to start. So your guess is as good as mine. Okay, there you go. Oh, Jesus. I think he just likes it. Yeah. I don't think you want to know. Might be the Allegan porn reserve that was stuck in the Crystal Tower. mean, they didn't really have much else to do when they transported from the source. Yeah, that's me, new to the Crystarium. Yes, actually, I'm surprised Catless already told you who I was, but apparently she got my name, so G-May Grayston. Oh, okay, cool. Friends of a Feather, then. That was the last quest we did, but, you know. Okay, so what you're saying is you have almost no work here because nobody asks for sentimental crafts in a place like this. Yeah. Well, fair enough. Good on you for following your heart. Uh-huh. Please stop asking questions that can be taken sexually. Oh my god. A business arrangement, huh? Because you can't sell to anybody and you need help with that? Oh. Yeah, that would make it a bit of a problem if anybody asked for anything other than potions. And there aren't very many potions that can be made for sentimental value, so... Okay, sure, I'll see what I can do. Awesome, so I can kind of be a teacher here as well. I don't need to hit her to get her to restart Naughty, but I'll help her out. Honestly, this facet is probably the one that I like the least. It's very, like, bare bones, and I guess they wanted to do something with an elegant node, but I almost feel like that would have been better to hold on to for the metalworking, because it's an elegant node, and it's not necessarily made of metal, but all of the metal workers have hammers as their sidearms, so, like, you could have done something with that. This one, it just feels out of place. It's weird. Oh, whatever, it's fine. Just not my favorite, that's all. It's probably my least favorite out of all the 5. Although I haven't done the Fisher ones, so I don't really know if it is yet or not. We'll find out as we go. Yes, indeed. Here, here. Oh, okay, fair enough. Dispense with the items that I'll need to do stuff with. A painting of Damp Soul, a village in Lakeland. Oh, okay, jeez. Well, that makes sense. It sounds like you're almost, you know, keeping history, so that seems like a very good reason to do it. Probably. I will see what I can do, sure. Can count on me. Now, the Culinarian and Alchemist quests mostly have materials that you can just gather up if you're on an Omni Gatherer. The facets of crafting and metalworking, on the other hand... Oh, why would they do this? Okay, so let me lay it on you here. So, the first thing that she needs, let's see, that you can make as a carpenter, leatherworker, or weaver, are canvas repair materials. If we search that out in our recipe search, canvas repair materials, you might notice something about the canvas repair materials. You might notice that not only do they require you to... They actually require materials from other gatherers within the same class of thing. And it doesn't even stop there, because eventually they'll require materials from metal workers as well. Why would you do this? Okay, I need you to understand. Okay, so the way that... Basically, custom deliveries changed the game for crafters in this game, because they made it so that the game could basically say, okay, so you could go out and gather all these things for your, you know, for yourself and then make these things, or we could teach you how to play the class by handing you materials and then saying, okay, go nuts, figure out a rotation, and, you know, do that while you're in the story quest, so that then when you go craft your own stuff, optionally, by gathering materials, you'll know what to do. And then the Crystalline Mean came along and said, no, we're just going to throw that out the window and force you to do the same shit that you did for the fucking leaves that you were doing back in Heaven's Ward in order to level up. Which is even worse, made even worse by the fact that in order to get all of this stuff done, there's not enough experience to go around for you to level all 3 of these crafters at once, even though it requires materials from all 3 of the crafters. So you end up having to grind leaves in order to get all the classes to the appropriate levels they need to be in order to get this stuff. Now, it's not as much of a problem anymore, because all of these materials, if I recall correctly, can be purchased. At least some of the early ones can be purchased from a vendor in Ralger's Reach that you can use for custom deliveries. But, as far as I'm aware, that does not exist for Shadowbringers materials until after 5.0. So if you want to do these while you're in the midst of playing through 5.0, you're completely screwed. You have to go get the materials yourself from the market board, or make them yourself by leveling all the other crafters up. Why would you do this, Square Enix? It feels like 2 steps backward. Like, it feels like you basically took the way that they did crafting in Stormblood, perfectly acceptable to just turn them into custom deliveries for the quest lines themselves, and then say, okay, so if you want to gather materials and make other things, that's optional. You do that if you want, but we're not going to force you to do that in order to level up and get manipulation and do all that stuff. Now they're forcing you to level all this stuff up. You have to be an Omni-crafter and an Omni-gatherer in order to get all the facets done. Otherwise, you're going to be paying an arm and a leg on the market board for all the materials. And that doesn't really seem like a good way to do this stuff. Maybe it's just me, but it seems kind of asinine when they had it perfectly in hand back in Stormblood. So, when I was asked to do all 5 of these quests, I was like, okay, what do these entail? And I saw that and I almost vomited. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It was perfectly fine in Stormblood. Why would you change it? Not only change it, but also change it to a worse iteration of crafting and gathering. Just let me do custom deliveries for the main quests. Like, what the fuck? And there are some quests in the Crystalline Mean that have you doing custom deliveries. At level 75 and level 80, they give you the materials for the items that you need to craft. You just have to get there first, and there are a bunch of deliveries in the way before you can get there that you have to get by other means. And it's just like, what is the fucking point of this? And they did this in Endwalker as well, which means they didn't learn their lesson. So it's like, okay. Alright, anyway. This game had already lost me mechanically, but now it's lost me mechanically with crafting. That is sad. And I am sad for it. Anyway. Let's move on. We've got 2 more quests to do, and I'm already over 3 hours, so... Need a little bit of an original eye? I might be able to help with that. Yes, I am. Look at all the tools I have in my belt to prove it. So this is Iola. She runs the Iron Bellows, the forging facet here. Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry to hear that. So how are they going to get their weapons if you're not around? I guess that's a good question, huh? Okay. Oh, okay. Fair enough. No, I get that. I feel the same way about my photographic memory, but I seem to be able to craft things outside of the realm of non-originality when it comes to, you know, my goldsmithing and leatherworking and culinarianing, so... Same place as the Crystal Exarch, yes. Probably true, actually. Do you know how to manipulate? Because if not, that will probably help. It's okay. I can use the crafter scripts, actually. It gets me money anyway. Rowena might not like it, but I found a way to turn her crafter scripts into actual currency. Oh, okay. What do we need to parley with the Zune for? No. I know who the Zune are, but what do we need to parlay with them for? Oh, you want to trade with them. Okay. Sure. Sounds like a plan. Alright, Eisman, hold down the fort. I'll go make sure she doesn't get any of us into trouble. I mean, thinking about it, I could do these quests on the next episode, but I figure, you know, I might as well get this all done. Get all the side quests done before a new year rolls around, you know. Sorry for ambushing you in a corner like this, sir, but... yeah, we want to craft some artisan goods. Excuse me. Makes sense. Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, that's why they're so big and muscular, because then they can avoid the injuries as much. Oh, okay, so if we fashion you some armor that'll help with the bites, that would make sense. There you go, Iola. See, all it took was a little asking around. Nice and easy. Thanks for humoring her, man, because I wasn't sure how this was gonna go. Well, that was fast. By the way, the deliveries themselves don't involve any story quests, if I recall correctly. I think basically you do the deliveries, and then the only story quests for these are at level 70 right now, level 75, and then level 80. The deliveries themselves are just like, hey, thanks for the deliveries, and then you get their esteem up. So. Well, we could fashion them a pair of bracelets that provide some protection from the bites that the Amaro might give them. Oh, look, new blood. Oh, not new blood. Retiring blood. Uh-huh. Sounds like you guys are, it seems like, just from what I've seen, you guys have definitely gotten put on the back foot here, huh? They don't anymore? That's kind of cold of them. Yeah, I get that, but family's a little bit of a different story. Well, maybe. I'll see what I can do to help that out. Oh. You borrowed money? You know that's not a good idea, right? It almost never works out in these sorts of games. Often people come back to collect on their debts. Oh, okay. So who is this Walden guy? Well, let's hope he's still got it. He might have pawned it off for something else, depending on what his line of work is. Let me think of something, and then I'll figure it out. I'll just look in my crafting log. That'll tell me what to do. That's true. We could make something that's similar to what the Amalja use to help out with taming the lizards that they use, so. Yeah, see, look at those bracelets that they've got on there. Those will definitely help out. So, we can make some metal gauntlets for them. I'm not exactly an armorer, but I can probably make some bracelets that are very similar, and then you guys can provide the slabs of iron and stuff around them, so, yeah. Okay, well, that should give you a unique identity, at least. So I'll see what I can do for you. I don't know if we need all this forward stuff. This Crystarium delivery command, it's fast to afford it. Like, just, it's okay. The quest can be over. It's fine. Okay, so we've got metal gauntlets to create, and if we search those out in here, I should have everything I need for them. I might not have like all of the specific materials because I might have to make them myself as a not a leatherworker, a goldsmith, but that's okay. But yeah, so as you can see here, not only do you need molybdenum, this is the one that I was talking about a minute ago that's even more extraneous than the other ones. Not only do you need stuff that armorers and blacksmiths are the only ones that can make, as far as I'm aware, I can't make molybdenum ingots as a goldsmith, so you can't even make these as a goldsmith. You also need leatherworker and weaver in order to create these metal gauntlets if you're not going to go out and buy this stuff from someplace else. Now again, for now, you can purchase these materials from that guy over in Ralger's Reach. It costs a ton of money to get them though, because you need, 12 of these, 6 of these, and that's an arm and a leg over there. That's like 120,000 gil, probably, all put together. And eventually, it'll require Shadowbringers materials that you may or may not even be able to forge, considering what class you're on. So, it doesn't make any sense. Like this process that they've put you through, where it's like, okay, well, the only people that craft and gather in this game are people who play all of them. Like, no, what the fuck is wrong with you? Just let people play the classes that they want, okay? Wrap the quest lines around the fact that you can't be guaranteed that this person is playing every class in the game, and then let them branch out themselves. Anyway, let's do the last facet and then we'll be done for the day. Yeah, that's the plan. No, it's fine. I've got on gathering glamour and also a fishing rod, so it's fine for you to presume. So. And how so? Well, yeah, that's usually how business works, unfortunately. Yeah, I imagine it'd be kind of hard to find a spot for a big aquarium around here unless you start repurposing the Crystal Tower. Sure, why not? No, we gotta go all the way out to Sullen. Okay, well, this one's gonna take a little while. That's okay, though, because Sullen is a long ways away. It's all the way on the other side of the map from the Tessellation Gate, but that's okay. We will make it. And we'll have some fish to catch as well. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to catch the fish on screen or off screen, honestly. Because I imagine it might take a little while to catch the fish. Like mining, it's like, okay, we could just do that whenever, but I don't know if Cole will have the patience to wait for me to fish, you know. Speaking of fishing, though, all of the fish that you need to catch for this quest line can be caught with versatile lures. You can do it with other bait, but you have to kind of keep switching around bait depending on the quest that you're doing, so I find it easier to just buy a few versatile lures, bring them here, and just use them to find all the things you're getting. You might get a wider range of fish as well because of the fact that the versatile lure can catch any of the fish in the area that you're looking for, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. Definitely putting Mizuko through her paces today, though, so that's good. We'll bring you in the water in a little bit. Probably once we're done here, I'll let you swim around while I go back to the main to tell Frithric. Talk to Frithric about what we're up to here. Is it Frithric or Fithric? No, it's Frithric. Good lord, man. It's a name only a mother could love. Well, there's the pier. It's probably where I'm going to be fishing shortly. The pastime that I have enjoyed so much in my months of absence from being a hero and an adventurer. I mean, that makes sense. This is the closest body of water. Well, fair enough. Oh boy. Sounds like you've got a few fans. No, he's saying that you guys need to go to other watering holes. I would think that you'd want to do that as a fisher to know that you can be the master of the fishing in multiple different places, but... Uh-huh. Well, Wild Theories and Myths seem to be the entirety of the Gathering quests, so I don't know about that one. Damn. Sounds like these guys don't appreciate any headstrong things that you've told them, which is good because that means that I can do it instead. I'd rather do that stuff. Sure, why not? I like going to far-flung places and finding new fish. Alright, back to the Cabinet of Curiosity, which they will not teleport me to because I just know how this game is, and they only do that for quests they actually care about, and they couldn't give less of a shit about this one, so... yeah. Anyway. Off to the cabinet. This stream is going to be 3.5 hours by the time I'm done. Oh, he's down here. Actually, maybe not 3.5, but pretty close to 3 hours and 20 minutes anyway. Like I said, though, I just want to get all these done before the new year is out, so... or before the new year is here, really. Okay, well that makes sense because you could look up all the new fish that are around, so. Oh, really? Nice. Oh, yeah, I could see how that would be a bit of a problem. Uh-huh. The fact that eventually you'll fish up every fish that you guys use for the status quo and then they'll become extinct and you'll have to find something else anyway. And that could be too. Yeah, poor diet. Oftentimes your gut is the first sign of danger when you're getting sick, so. Right. 8 eyes eels, huh? Well, I mean, if they're deep sea dwellers, then that would make sense because they'd have to have good eyes to be able to see down there. Or no eyes at all, but, you know. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Where do I sign up? No, I will not tell you to bugger off. It sounds like a grand adventure, and not one that the Crystal Exarch is involved with, which is all the better for me. Sure, I'll take the assignment. Alright, I will be there momentarily. I feel like I'm gonna like this one too, honestly. Like, I almost never dislike the gathering quests in this game because it feels like the people that make them know that no one's gonna appreciate them, so they try to put their heart and soul into them anyway. And I appreciate the effort that they put into them, so I will attempt to show the appreciation that they so duly deserve. It's like an echo in this house. So what's the first order there, Frithric? The 8-eyes eels? Alright then. I will attempt to catch as many as I can. I'll stick them in my refrigerator. Oh wait, Rory ate that. I'll stick them in my makeshift refrigerator. And that sounds terrifying, but I'm sure I'll be able to figure it out. I have a striped ray on my hands that is probably a more terrifying predator than the rest of them combined, so. Yeah, no, it'll be fine. I got this. He was afraid to say bugger off, but this quest is called, well, eel be damned. It's a little two-faced, isn't it? Okay, so anyway, 8-eyes eels are the first delivery that you need to make with him. The Rift of Sighs is apparently the place where you need to go. I don't exactly know where that is, but I'm sure I can figure it out eventually. It's not going to be in my fishing log at the moment because I haven't found them. But, yeah, I'll let y'all know where I can find them. I think I'm actually going to go catch the fish myself, because again, it's enough that I'll have Cole be dragged around doing the culinarian and miner/botanist quest, but I don't think he'll want to be waiting, for half an hour for me to catch all the fish, so I'll probably go do those myself while off screen, and then I'll just turn them in as we go. The crafting ones won't take very long to do because I've already got the materials, but the fish will take a little bit, so I'll work on that. But in the meantime, we have to call it a day. So that's going to do it for today's episode of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, the Stream Edition. A little bit of a long one, but again, I wanted to get all the side quests done before the new year rolled around. So now they're all done, and we can move on to the Raktika Greatwood on the next episode, which will be happening next year at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, probably next Tuesday. It'll probably be the last Tuesday that we can stream this game for a little while, because once patch 6.3 drops, that's reset day. Ain't nobody going to want to do old content on reset day. We won't have a wing or a prayer. So, yeah, we'll worry about that. I'll post the schedule up on Twitch, YouTube, and Discord after I'm done having a coughing fit and also getting the description done for this one. In the meantime, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream, and I'll see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will probably be next Tuesday, at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, everybody, take care, and have a good one. Definitely dying, definitely holding in a cough. Hold on, I'm going to go take care of that right now.